Welcome to my hood. There ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to ride, step into the pool. Buckle up, I'ma show you where it's at. We gon' burn a couple blunts, we gon' pop a couple caps. I ain't talking about 4 5s from the strap. Psilocybin driving, so we headed off the map. What you know about? Tasting color, seeing sound with a crystallize. Turning nothing into something when we alchemize. Vandalize the lies with the truth. Ain't nobody wanna take shots of this proof. All we ever wanted was the answers. Looking for unique, but our vision keep us phantom. Phantom black man, ghost writing in a pentagram. I'm from the place where our thoughts meet the program. Not too many open to the power that they hold. Just know that when we shine, it's the reflection of your soul. Supreme beings moving, watch the galaxy implode. We are not alone. If you not normal, welcome home. Yeah. Welcome to my hood. There ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to ride, step into the floor. I gotta hold on to this feeling. I'll be seeing visions through the folds of the prism. Projecting all wishes, anything I want is given. Paranormal vision, you can call it supervision. Control the superstition, make them wonder how we do it. They seen us in the mud, now we out here making music with the paranormal movement that's stronger than what you deal with. If Jesus was just a fraud, then hallelujah for Judas. Caesar is not the mob, so it just had to be Brutus. They hate when we on our job, cause persecution is useless. Proof that what we doing is more than just making music. Utilizing the truth, drop it off in the hood. Showing what's really good, the feeling is understood. We don't just what it means to get it by all means. Supreme beings moving, watch reality explode. We are not alone, if you not normal, welcome home. Yeah. Welcome to my hood. There ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to ride, step into the portal.
It's our theme music. Every good heroes should have theme music. Give me a second, everything's slow today.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
That's right, folks. It's another Thursday night. Are you ready for our brand of paranormal talk? Welcome to our hood. It's about to go down. What's Hood Hoodies? Welcome to Thursday night. This is Paranormal Hood Live Radio. We're live and direct in the God of Knowledge Studios. I'm your host, Jiggy.
I'm Smoke King, Working.
What's up to everybody on
Posting.
YouTube, folks on Periscope. If you're on Periscope, you watch right now. If you want to chat, you got to go over to our YouTube Live, which is Paranormal Hood Live. Then you can be a part of the show. And it's easier for us to see the chat. We don't see the Periscope chat. But we stream so that you guys can be part of the experience, too. It's nice outside, y'all. About fucking time. Yo, they're giving you compliments on the hat, too.
Yeah, thank you.
No one ever says anything good about my shiny, fresh baldy I give y'all every Thursday to shave my fucking head. And I noticed that glare, too. That motherfuckers glare. They like glare and shit. I'm sorry, y'all. If the glare, like, stuns you or anything when I turn my head down or something, I apologize. Just try to keep
Makeup!
Makeup! Yeah, we don't do that here. This isn't one of those kind of shows. Excuse me, I had to hit the blunt. If you got it, roll it, smoke with us. Let's know what you're smoking on. That's funny. What's the name? Ain't been here in a while to keep the blunt count. So we don't even know how many blunts we smoke most nights until people ask us or whatever. We used to have a contest and people would tell us at the end of the night and see who could guess it right. But I don't know if anybody pays attention anymore. Like I said, if you got it, smoke it. Because tonight we're going to talk about everything that's going on in the paranormal, the conscious, the awoke, all the motherfuckers community that's combined to form one transformer and shit. They form Voltron and shit, but there's a rift in the paranormal, in the field. in the community. And tonight we're going to talk about...
All hell's breaking loose.
It's going on, man. It's the end of the fucking world, man.
Throw everybody under the bus.
Game over, man.
Save your own ass.
Game over.
Endgame's coming, that's for sure. It's not the end of the game they think.
Bow your heads for those who may not make it. They won't cross the finish line. They won't pass go. They won't even collect $2. Where's my $2? You gotta be old as fuck if you know what that reference is. Anybody know what that reference is? Please let me know in the chat. I want to see who's old as me. But yeah, folks, so we're gonna get into that later. There's a lot of shit going on, and we're gonna talk about it. Because obviously, as you know, if you followed, we're a part of some of it too. So, hey. But we don't create riffs. We actually try to bring things together, to be the crazy glue that holds things together. But for some reason, it's just not working. But don't blame it on us. We didn't do it. We just respond. That's all. That's just kind of how we do. You know what I'm saying? All right, folks. Because last week we didn't do news. We didn't do shit. It was just one of those type of things. It's needed to, yeah. So we're going to do news tonight. Before we get into all this, we're going to do like we normally do. Okay? So let me set this up. Let's do it right. Hold on.
Yep.
We here at ParanormalHooD spend our time in between each show searching the news, the newspapers, the internet, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever we can find sources for that weird, that strange, that odd, that different, that not necessarily mainstream news. Now that news might be here on Earth. Yeah, I said Earth, E-R-F. I like saying Earth. I know it's Earth, I say Earth. All you motherfuckers like, ignorant little motherfuckers. Or maybe it's up to the moon where I say Michael Jackson resides and he's about to do his nightly performance. Or maybe it's up to Mars, the supposed red planet. Or somewhere beyond, somewhere out there, in the corners of the universe, waiting to be found. And if it's found, we can find it, then we bring it to you every Thursday night, except for last Thursday night. On this segment of the show, we simply call Smoke Kings Paranormal News. Hit this blunt, smoking. Let us know what's going on in our universe, our omniverse, our multiverse, our verse Simmons, Batman versus Superman, Justice League versus the Avengers, Avengers versus X-Men, Billy Carson versus ParanormalHooD. Woo! I got a story. I'm gonna start this one off, okay? You gonna load story? What the fuck? Way to go.
Oh, God.
Give me a second. Sorry. Here we go. It's loading. All right. Flat Earth fan arrested for alleged graffiti spray on federal land. Oh yeah, baby.
You're an idiot.
A flat earth enthusiast from Arizona was arrested last week for what authorities say was a widespread campaign in which he tagged over 30 spots on federal land with a message imploring people to research the infamous conspiracy theory.
Epic fail.
According to a press release issued by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, Skylar Jean... Yo, this motherfucker's name is Skylar Jean Butts. I said it that's right.
You ugly, you're ugly, and your mother ugly, and your sister ugly. You just plain old ugly.
That's right, folks. His name is Skylar Jean Butts. Was busted after a year-long investigation into recurring instances of flat earth-themed graffiti that had been appearing around the Parker Dam, which is overseen by the Bureau of Land Management. You know, fucked around with the environmental police. You fucked. They got them. Them motherfuckers got some serious jurisdiction. You wouldn't think so, but the environmental police, yeah, them motherfuckers can pretty much go anywhere. It would seem that the suspect finally slipped up when security cameras filmed Butts tagging the side of a restroom at the location last Wednesday. Estimating the total cost to clean up his alleged handiwork at around $5,000, officers arrested the Flat Earth advocate the following day and charged him with felony vandalism. Remarkably, while it took some time for investigators to figure out who had been behind the graffiti for the past year, Butt was apparently hiding in plain sight, documenting an artistry on an Instagram page. You know what I say? Man, I grew up in a graffiti era and stuff. Graffiti's cool, but there's a place for it and stuff. But, dude, even if you are going to tag some shit, don't be like these motherfuckers. Don't be like these other people we'll be talking about tonight. And Flat Earth, really, dude? Really? It took them a year to bust you. They should have just went on Instagram early. I don't know why I didn't even think to go fucking Flat Earth. Just type in Flat Earth, you'll find these idiots. He gets a double one. Europe. You not up?
Yeah, here we go. Let's see, what do we want to start off with? Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or Mars? We'll start with Mars. That's on top.
Let's go to Mars.
A frenzy as conspiracy theorists find best evidence yet of underground bases.
Word?
What?
Where
Get
at,
the
son?
fuck outta here.
Come on, where they at, yo?
Undoubted proof of underground bases on Mars has been found in a Google Earth image.
Wait a minute. Who is it? Who is it?
I don't know who it is yet. I think I know who it might be, but listen to that. Underground bases on Mars have been found on Google Earth images. Anyway,
it's ground penetrating Google images.
It's not who you think it is. It's
not
somebody else.
Sorry, Scotty.
You might know. It's the other person though. You know who this is. Theories of life on Mars have swelled for years, with scientists off at loggerhead over whether the conditions could sustain life forms. Conspiracy theorists, meanwhile, claim it can, and aliens actually live underneath the surface. Renowned crybaby, truth seeker, Tyler of YouTube channel Secure Team 10.
Hey guys, thank you so much, because I bitched and whined about my account not being monetized, and you guys were able to make it happen, because literally all that I exist for, all the Secure Team 10 is here for, is for Tyler to get the money. Because without your money, I couldn't bring you a bunch of regurgitated bullshit. I couldn't sit there and make up shit that I got busted on and still have a successful channel. So thank you guys for helping me to get my lies back out there, because this money is so fucking important. Thanks for the monetization, guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting Secure Team 10.
Yeah, he's gonna lose it again, and he ain't getting it back this time. Oh shit! YouTube's purge is coming again. Anyway, now this is great, because he posted a discovery of alien bases on mapping software Google Earth. Yep. Maybe I should say Google Mars. I don't know. This validates a long-held theory that there is without a doubt underground activity happening on the Red Planet. He begins. His stories are just about as good as
leave
Scott's.
your living room.
You're close, Out of Minds, and everybody else was thinking Scott C. Warren. Anyway, this Tyler then reveals an image of what looks like an opening in the ground of the red surface. He claims it's some sort of entrance to an underground base or even a huge hangar. The conspiracy theorist has previously pointed out similar sightings on Earth around Area 51. Look at the lighting, shadow. You can tell when something is a huge entrance when the light from the outside and the darkness from within fade together, he said.
Come on, guys.
You can perfectly visualize and see a little bit into this entrance. More than 210,000 people have seen the clip since it was posted. Oh, thank you for that money, guys. I love you. I mean, I love money. I mean, I love you. Please don't make me have to get a real job.
He'll create
It's
some
so
other
clear
bullshit.
that there is something or was something there. Amazing find. Another row. You have to be very closed-minded or ignorant to think we are alone in that vast universe. Well, yeah, you would have to be, but to think that that's a fucking underground base on Mars, you've got to be a fucking moron.
He's trying to get monetization even more, man. He needs more hits.
And a third person said, that hole just screams a pitch-black level of spookiness filled with aliens.
Epic fail.
Oh,
You are
on to
one
the next
pathetic
one.
loser.
Oh, is that it?
That's it for
Hold
that
on.
one.
Tyler,
Dude, like seriously. I used to watch. I'm telling you, like, dude, like watching that shit for years, paying attention, and then anytime you question this shit, it was just like, no, dude. Especially the one in Boston. Like, you're gonna put something up from Boston, at least be able to back up what the fuck you're saying. For someone who worked in the city all those years, I know exactly what that was.
Somebody who lives in the city witnesses that shit all the time
Right.
in this city. Anyway,
Spotlights.
moving on. FBI releases Bigfoot documents from 1970s. A man intent on proving the existence of mythical creature got the agency to test samples, which turned out to be bwomp, womp, womp. Deer hair. Yes, Yeti persisted. An Oregon man intent on proving the existence of the mythical creature known as Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the abominable snowman, Yeti, and in 1976 managed to get the FBI to test hair and tissue samples that he believed might help his case. According to newly released records, the FBI has analyzed hair condition in connection with the search for Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, an internal FBI memo noted in February 1977. On Wednesday, the man who spurred that analysis, 93-year-old Pete Byrne, told CNBC that he still hasn't given up hope of proving that Bigfoot is real, if exceedingly rare creature. It's a great challenge, she says. When asked to explain his interest over 9 decades in finding creatures widely believed to be figments of imagination or an invention of a con man. The page says his first opportunity to go looking for the Yeti occurred in 1946, when he was still in the British Royal Air Force in Bombay, India. A footage on that page shows him with a famous Yeti scalp. Yeah.
Okay.
Another photo shows a very big footprint of a possible Bigfoot. He desires to see a Yeti for himself, led to him launch 3 extensive expeditions searching for the Yeti in Nepal in the late 1950s.
Wow.
He said that in the past 50 years he has found 2 or 3 sets of possible Yeti. 50 years, 2 or 3 sets.
Hey, the man's committed, though. I'm going to give him
I
credit.
I
Hey,
give it to him. He's
he's 90.
committed.
You say he's 94 at this point?
And he's not saying it is real. He's saying it's possible.
Right? I'll give it to him. Hey, he's
possible.
investigating, see?
He didn't find those footprints and say, "Oh, look, that right there. It's fucking. That's 100% proof, evidence. I got footprints."
My man went to Nepal like a few, like,
Oh, he was over there for the Air Force and Royal Navy or whatever it was.
do you thought this?
Anyway, with 5 toes on each foot, left in tracks in the Himalayas at altitudes of 15,000 feet. But he conceded Wednesday that those prints could have been left by Hindu holy men or sadhus who he has seen walking barefoot in the snow at such heights. After moving to the U.S. in the 1960s, he went on to direct the Bigfoot Information Center and Exhibition in Oregon. With the backing of what he said were wealthy men, he tried to find conclusive evidence of Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, in America's Pacific Northwest. It was in full time, 7 days a week, he said, which last were fun. Huh? Who writes these articles? Try and jumble this together. I was in it full time, 7 days a week. Byrne said of his early Bigfoot hunts, which last were funded in the 1990s. Right now, I'm still active, he says. We have motion-sensitive cameras out in the mountains of Oregon, he said. But he added, it's a hobby now for me. When he told the FBI, when he told about the FBI documents showing his correspondence with the agency in the 1970s asking to test hair samples, he chuckled. But he also said, I don't remember this. It's out of my memory, he added. Yeah, sure it is. Well, noting that he does recall asking the FBI in the 1970s about an incident at a campground in Washington State where a Bigfoot was suspected. However, FBI records disclosed by the agency on its public documents page show that in 1976, Byrne repeatedly wrote the FBI asking for tests to be conducted on both hair and his group had obtained, and on other samples that he had heard might be in the agency's possession. We do not often come across hair which we are unable to identify, and the hair that we have now, about 15 hairs attached to a tiny piece of skin, is the first that we have obtained in 6 years, which we feel may be of importance, Byrne wrote in a November 1976 letter to FBI Assistant Director J. Cochran, Jr. In an earlier letter in August that year, Byrne had asked if hair supposedly of a Bigfoot that he had believed had been sent to the FBI had been examined yet. Will you kindly set the record straight once and for all? Inform us if the FBI has examined hair which might be that of Bigfoot. When this took place, and if it did take place, what the results of the analysis were, he wrote. Please understand that our research here is serious, Byrne wrote. That is a serious question that needs answering. In response, finally, a letter was sent to him on December 15th, 1976. The head of the FBI of the Bureau Scientific and Technical Service Division noted that the FBI laboratory normally conducts examination of physical evidence of law enforcement agencies in connection with criminal investigations. But he also added, occasionally on a case-by-case basis, in the interest of research and scientific inquiry, we make an exception into the general policy. We will examine the hairs and tissue mentioned in your letter, he wrote. It was the first time that the FBI apparently tested a sample of hair to see if it was a Bigfoot. According to the records, which contain photocopied images of the hair, the FBI acted relatively quickly after Cochran told Byrne that the test would be done. In February 1977, Cochran wrote Howard Curtis, Executive Vice President of Academy of Applied Science in Boston, which had a relationship with Byrne's Bigfoot group. The Academy had been the chief sponsor of the search for the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn. Now Nessie's involved. It's going down. Big, huge monster fucking get-together.
They did the mash. They did the monster.
Cochran's letter noted that the results were being sent to Curtis at his request because Mr. Byrne will be out of the country for several months.
Mr. Burns.
Byrne, according to Curtis, was in Nepal at the time. Cochran said the examination of the hair included a study of morphological characteristics such as root structure, medullary structure, and cuticle thickness, in addition to scale casts. Also, that the hairs were compared directly with hairs of known origin under a comparison microscope, he added. And at the end of all that, it was concluded, as a result of those examinations, that the hair were that of a female deer.
Doe, a deer,
a female deer. The hair sample you submitted is being returned in an enclosed envelope in this letter. Even though he does not recall that test being performed or the FBI's conclusion more than 40 years later, he still dreams of finding Bigfoot. No, Burns answered ruefully. When asked if he had ever actually seen a Yeti or Bigfoot, I'd love to see one. There's been sightings, he said. He noted that he once found in the Pacific Northwest a huge footprint of what would have been an upright mammal with 5 toes on each foot and around 46-inch stride. And here we had a sighting 10 days ago of a Bigfoot from a very reliable, very good friend of mine, he said. Last year, he said, there was a sighting of a suspected Sasquatch by 7 loggers who were surprised to see a huge creature ambling their way. Oh, so there you have it, the FBI.
Okay,
So now, as the internet would have it, the FBI investigated Bigfoot. He's real.
Yeah, they'll try to they blew that shit.
That's it. That's the proof right there. He's real.
No, they took the time to investigate some abnormalities just to see if it was a possibility of what they're supposed to do. But I would have given that dude an idiot award, but I don't find him to be an idiot. I think he's very dedicated to something. He's been investigating. He's put a lot of time in it. And even at his 94 years old, he's still out there. So, hey, hopefully, Bigfoot, if you're out there, before you come to see us, go see Old Boy, man. Like kind of make his life. Like he's been dedicated, man. I won't give him an idiot award. I'm gonna give him a thumbs up because I think, dude, he's winning, man. He's,
winning.
Possible.
Right. Hey, he didn't say he found it. He didn't elaborate. He didn't make the stories all crazy and stuff. He's still out there looking. And I mean, Nepal and all that type of thing. You're going to try 15,000. Hey, my man. Hey. Okay. All right. All right. I got a story, though. Okay. I got one here. Cops bust ghost scaring drivers.
You're an idiot.
Authorities in an Indonesian city became Ghostbusters late Sunday morning when they caught a troublemaking teenager who had been dressing up as a spirit and scaring motorists.
Epic fail.
The strangers reportedly began in the community of Pamalang, a few days. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hope I am. Apologize to people from Pamalang. A few days earlier, when several concerned residents called the police after spotting an eerie entity on the side of the road. Specifically, they said the apparition was a rather notorious type of spirit in Indonesian culture known as a pakong, or wrapped ghost, because the being appears shrouded in a burial cloth. Just like a sheet.
You are one pathetic loser.
After receiving a number of reports about peculiar pakong sightings, police in Pamalang set about trying to get to the bottom of the weird calls. Eventually, after a few days of looking, cops came upon the ghost during a patrol of the city, and remarkably, when the spirit was initially confronted by the officers, it attempted to scare them away.
You are a huge nerd.
Ooh, shit, here they were probably lucky to get shot. It attempted. Sorry. However, the apparition failed to frighten the police as they quickly approached the oddity and discovered that it was in fact a teenage boy dressed in a pecan costume. Since the suspect is a minor, he managed to avoid being arrested for his actions, but he did receive a reprimand from the police, who noted that he could have caused a shocked driver to crash their car. That's serious. I don't want to laugh at that. For his part, the faux ghost expressed remorse for his actions and promised to not reprise the stunt. The stern lecture he got from police was a proverbial slap on the wrist compared to a teen in Malaysia that pulled the exact same prank last year and was forced by cops to perform as the ghost, which infamously hops up and down due to being tightly wrapped in a burial shroud on the side of the road. Wow. How you doing over there?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Dude, I'm gonna read this story just because. Two Texas men die trying to jump car over lifted drawbridge. That's some paranormal shit.
You're an idiot.
A Texas driver and his passenger are dead after they tried to jump the ramps on a closed drawbridge. Louisiana State Police say it happened shortly after 2 a.m. Friday at the Black Bayou Bridge about 6 miles south of Lake Charles. Investigators say a boat on the intracoastal waterway was passing under the bridge, so it was closed to traffic. Witnesses say the car's passenger pushed the gate arm up and they drove up to the raised ramps. Then they backed up and then accelerated forward, trying to jump to the other side. The vehicle landed in water instead and sank.
And they were too drunk to figure out how to get out of the car, and they drowned, probably.
That should only work for Bo and Luke Duke because they were stunt drivers who actually did it. Okay?
If you actually watch the Dukes of Hazzard, when those cars landed, you watched them get destroyed on the landing, and then it would cut real quick to see a car driving away. You just watch the car land and see the rear end just like blow right out. And it cuts to show it all back in the car and tires spinning.
Neither one of them was too bright either.
I mean, you can do it and stuff. It's possible, but I mean, you don't do it in.
Yeah, what were they driving? What kind of car was it? Anything? Like, at least, yeah. I mean, they did it in Fast and Furious too, right?
Oh boy, here we go. Some more monster news. Loch Ness monster might be real after scientists make a surprising discovery.
Nessie's back.
Oh, lads and lassies, have you heard the tale of old Nessie, the monster that once swam the Scottish waters? Well, the infamous legend says it is thought to have lived in the Loch Ness, a large lake in Scottish Highlands. For years there has been a lot of debate about whether this monster did actually exist. Now scientists in New Zealand think there's a chance Nessie might have existed. The Loch Ness contains more water than all of the lakes in England and Wales combined, making it one of the UK's deepest and potentially most mysterious lakes. Its waters are dark from the soil known as peat, which surround the lake, adding to its secretive looks. For years and years, there have been theories that a monster lived in Loch Ness, but there has been no real proof that it existed, save for a faked photo of the monster in 1934. But now a research group from the University of Otago, New Zealand, has found some surprising evidence that would suggest that a monster might have existed at one point. The leader of the team, Professor Neil Gelman, has explained that they took DNA, that's genetic information, from creatures that have lived in the lake. When they looked at this DNA, they found out that there might be evidence that one theory behind a monster in the Loch Ness could be real. We've tested... Hold on. Sorry. Wives. Anyway, let's see. We've tested each one of the main monsters hypotheses, and 3 of them can be probable. Hold on, wait a second. I missed something here. From the creature that lived in the lake. When they looked at the DNA, they found out that there might be evidence of the theory behind the monster being real. We've tested each one of the main monster hypotheses, and 3 of them we can probably say aren't right, and 1 might be. He went on to tweet that the results of this testing will be released in September of this year. Dun dun dun!
We'll find out. Is Nessie real?
Was he real? Was she real at one point?
Yes.
Could it be?
Anything's possible. Nessie. I got one here.
You got one? Because I got a good one, too.
Go ahead, you can go first.
All right. Expert who has spent 20 years studying legendary beasts does himself out of a job by declaring Nessie, Bigfoot, and Yetis do not exist.
Damn. I hope it wasn't his only source of income. He lost all his money.
A leading Loch Ness monster expert has admitted the defeat in search for Nessie. After 20 years of research, Dr. Darren Naish has dashed the hopes of monster hunters by concluding the famous beast does not exist. Well, not according to the story we just heard. You gave up too soon, my friend. Now you're out of a job.
See?
Given the prevalence of digital cameras in every mobile phone now, he says someone would have caught a better quality photograph of the monster than those currently in existence. I know there's literally thousands, tens of thousands of photos, like nice, really beautiful photos of Loch Ness. It's a really beautiful place, and people photograph it all the time. And like the way that the fog rises, it's really. It's just a beautiful place, and it's very photographic, scenic, photographic place. So we would have seen some evidence by now. Dr. Nashish from the University of Southampton says the only recent pictures of the sea monster are terribly low resolution, little blobs taken from distances. Speaking at a Chilantian Science Festival, he said this suggests that they're not real creatures that are out there to photograph. The most photographs of Nessie taken by London surgeon Robin Wilson in 1934 was exposed as a hoax partially made up using a toy from Woolworths. And there were recent fears that the monster had gone missing following an 8-month period where no pictures were taken, prompting suggestions that the Loch Ness monster had gone extinct finally. However, despite a resurgence of photographs, I just clicked out of the story, of photographs using modern technology, experts say there's still not enough evidence because they remain poor quality. Dr. Naish, zoologist, told the audience at the Science Festival last year was a particularly good year for Nessie with 4 or 5 photos, but they were all terrible. They're all just random blobs on the water, and it's like, why would you think that's an unknown animal? If you saw that anywhere else in the world, you wouldn't even give it a second thought, but because it's Loch Ness, people expect to see monsters. So they see absolutely everything that's interpreted. The Loch Ness monster is worth nearly $41 million a year to the British economy, based on visitor figures.
Well, damn.
The legend has existed since 565 AD. That's probably why he lost his job. That's why he lost his job. You don't go fucking telling her that a $41 million fucking tourist attraction is not real.
You're fired, buddy. You gotta go.
You gotta go. We need a guy in here that's gonna feed some bullshit to people.
Uh-huh.
Let's bump this 41 million up to a cool 50 or higher. Dr. Nashi said smartphone technology meant there should be there should be better photos of the mythical creature like Nessie. He said, why are we not seeing good pictures of the sea monster? You just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Why did you get fired, dude? I don't know. But anyway, so he got fired, he lost his job, and he says Nessie's not real, but I guess he should have waited till September when these other people released a study to say whether it was real or not. They're not saying that it's real now, but they're saying it's a possibility that there's evidence.
Idiot. All right, I got one here. Man moves to Swiss Alps to live as a goat.
You're an idiot.
An unemployed British man fed up with the stresses of everyday life found a bizarre outlet for his yearning to escape, moving to Switzerland and living as a goat. After receiving a government grant to study goat psychology, Thomas Thwaites ventured to a mountain in Switzerland where he attempted to ingratiate himself to a herd of the creatures. In order to properly blend in with the goats, Thwaites required a number of radical additions to his physical body so that he did not stand out from the animals. These enhancements include a pair of specifically designed prosthetics for his arms and legs, which gave the illusion of having shorter limbs and hooves. Thwaites was also fitted with a unique stomach that allowed him to pretend like he was chewing grass while also acquiring the same nutrients found in the vegetation. Wow.
Epic fail.
His actual integration into the goat herd proved to be difficult but rewarding. According to Thwaites, the animal initially seemed... Sorry, folks. Say hi, Leo. Come on. Hi, big guy. Hi, Papa. Sorry. Hi, Leo.
Hey, bud, you gotta go upstairs. Knock everything over.
See you later, buddy. You got the big guy down here. According to... All right, where was he at? According to Thwaites, the animals initially seemed perturbed by their unusual new member, but he eventually realized they were merely trying to establish the hierarchy of the herd to him. Despite the physical pain caused from maneuvering with the prosthetic legs, as well as the odd diet, Thwaites found the experience incredibly rewarding, especially when the goats began treating him as a bona fide member of the herd. After completing the experiment, Thwaites returned to his human life with a better appreciation for the challenges of being a goat and has detailed his experience in a new book. Although he may feel compelled to send a copy of the tome to his former fellow herd mates, we suggest Thwaites hold off the gift since the goats would likely just turn the book into a light snack. I mean, hey, he didn't have a job. That was one way to get some money because it got funded. But look at that shit, though. Like, all that crazy-ass prosthetic type shit. And then a fake stomach and you're down there chewing and eating grass. Like, hey. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, come on!
All right, anything else?
I had one. I'm trying to find it again now. Yep. I think this is going to take the award here.
Okay.
I've never told anybody this, but a couple of years ago, I used to work at a Thai restaurant that was right next to a Walmart. Once in a while, when my break would start, I would walk over to Walmart. One time I was walking on the side about midway between the two buildings, and a woman exited the Walmart with a young child in a stroller. As I walked past them, I looked at the child, and it looked over at me, and I'm not joking when I say this. The child's face turned grayish-green, expanded somewhat on the sides, and stretched out a bit in front. Its eyes turned black, it glared at me, and it stuck out its tongue. This only lasted a couple of seconds. Its face and eyes immediately went back to normal, and it looked away like nothing had happened. I instantly knew that it was mocking me, and did it deliberately so I would see it. There was no one else on the sidewalk. It happened very fast, but I remember it very clearly, and I think it was about it every once in a while, even though it happened at least 5 years ago now. When it initially happened, I thought the child's face was shifting because it was about to throw up. But then when it stuck its tongue out, I realized that I had just witnessed the shift on purpose. I know what I saw, and even remember knowing exactly what I was seeing as it was happening. I knew instantly that this thing had done this on purpose, and it was not some slip-up. I have never been able to get the image out of my head, but the best reference I can give is from the movie The Devil's Advocate. There's a scene where the women are trying on clothes in the store, and as one of the women pulls the dress over her head to try it on, her face morphs into demonic shape for a couple of seconds as she looks at the other woman. That is exactly what happened to me, and this is exact sort of look the reptilian demonic baby had at the same time outside of Walmart.
The reptilian demonic beast outside of Walmart. Is there more to the story, or is that it?
That's it. That's all. I don't know. They must have gotten him. The baby must have tracked him down and got to him.
Well, you know, there's plenty of conspiracy surrounding them there Walmarts wherever you go, too, you know. If you've ever been to Walmart, there are some weird folks that hang out at Walmart. Maybe that's what the men in black really
been
work
on peopleofwalmart.com. That shit is fucking hilarious.
No, I've never been. I've been to Walmart. That's all you
Check
gotta do.
out peopleofwalmart.com. There's also the carsofwalmart.com too. A whole other website. We just where they just show people's cars in the parking lot of Walmart.
Okay.
Dude, you've ever looked at cars in the Walmart parking lot?
You know, I really go to Walmart to shop. I don't really go there for the people or the cars, but hey, whatever.
These cars are kind of hard to miss. I mean,
it also depends on where you're at, though. These are probably like somewhere.
Oh no, this is Walmart's all over the country. This ain't just Walmart down south. That's a lot of Walmarts down south in the videos, but
did I say that? I didn't even say. I wasn't picking on the south. I lived in the south.
It's just not the southern Walmarts that this shit is happening at.
Hey, I lived in the south, okay?
And because I used to do this, because when I found it, this was years ago, I found out this website. I was like, well, let's just go hang out at a Walmart and see if any of this shit is real. And it is. And I've only ever seen shit like that you see in a fucking Walmart. I'm sure some stuff happens in like Targets and shit like that. But Walmart, crazy shit happens at Walmart, especially after midnight. All those people who don't want to come out during the day and stuff because they're afraid of fucking what people are going to say and shit.
The freaks come out at night. What?
They do.
Freaks come out at night. Freaks come out. Sing with me now.
Meet a lot of nice people and stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're not nice people and stuff. There's some nice people. But you see the weirdest, craziest shit at a Walmart.
Well, who the fuck goes to Walmart at night to shop anyways? Well, I used to.
There's Walmarts that are open 24 hours a day.
Right, but when I used to live in Worcester.
Really, really busy ones.
When I lived in Worcester, the one out there was 24 hours a day, but I'd go there. There wasn't really anybody there. Like, I did my Christmas shopping.
Yeah, well, the ones that I went to, they were down south, so. And they Walmart could be fucking packed at 2 o'clock in the morning. The place would be bumping.
That's true, because I was in Florida,
fucking weirdos, though.
Yes.
Now, when I was in Florida, that shit was packed at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck? All these people shop at the same time? I just want to get a few things.
Oh, yes, and they do let it all hang out. Dudes huffing keyboard cleaning it and shit. Fucking, oh, man, I don't know.
Oh, fucking damn. I guess I'm
Just
thank God I go to Walmart
all
I go
kinds of
to.
people just walking around.
Bless you.
Fucking, I don't even remember. Just check out peopleofwalmart.com, carsofwalmart.com. Some funny shit when you're high.
No, thank you. All right, we're going to take a break.
And, I think that's it for the news this week.
I was going to do this story about this Chinese UFO, but yeah. I love listen, dude. These fucking easily. This is just a rocket, but I don't know why I want to play now.
Of course.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, the fucking rocket. Oh yeah, that's a UFO. Well, that's a UFO, kid. Come on, what the fuck?
Yep.
Anyways, all right, folks, we're gonna take a quick break. All you folks in the chat, don't go anywhere. We're just gonna play a couple songs. We'll be back tonight. We're talking about the Rift. That's right, Alfie. The Rift. The Rift. Something wicked this way comes. The world's about to crumble. They're going to ascend and leave us behind. That's why they're creating the rift, because the rest of us going to be stuck here. Whatever. Leave, bye, go ascend. What's up, Cool K? But yeah, folks, so don't go too far. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to be talking about the rift tonight. What's your favorite rift? Let's talk about it. It's Paranormal Hood. We'll be back. I know y'all got somebody you're thinking about. There's so many riffs. So many beefs, yo. It's like rap beef up in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Gotta screaming like alert, alert, spoil alert. Another track with another verse. Coming from the netherworld, got this body on a tether cord. Portal on my back like a ninja sword. We at war, but the fog don't show. What the conscious knows, so that I can't see where the mind won't go. Love is the absence of fear. Befriended the demons, so angels stay near. Angles appear, shapes create prisms, and prisons of mirrors. Clash with the gods with this pen as a spear. Been through the hell without showing the fear. We implode what you hoping so dear. Exposing this flow to your ears. Fractals on fractals of focus so clear. Dying so well that my living is weird. But you feeling is weird. But you feeling is here. Cause the truth is the truth, nigga. No matter what you call fact. And the fact of the matter is, I'm certain I'm mad on these tracks. Controlling the frequency as I vibrate so geniusly. It's just the free in me. Or maybe these shrooms gave birth to my truth through this womb. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. Popping shrooms, rolling line in my London fog. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. My London fog. Fucking London fog.
But it appears that the ancients were interested in the study of how to discriminate and discern which were the good angles coming in and which were the bad angles. In astrology they're angles or angels, and the language of angels is astrology.
Yo, everything came from black, so we can put a halt to the races. The issue is awakening the mass population for removal of the faces. See, what you seeing is a matrix, so what you seeing is a womb with a full spectrum, bringing life when the ray hit. I can hear it like I'm hearing what my name is. I can feel it even running through my veins in. They made a maze for amazement. I took a prison and I turned it to a playpen. I am Christ in the flesh, fire in a fire-based body, pouring water on the earth when I air. It's all inside of me, what shall I ever compare? It's all surrounding me, what shall I ever draw near? They want me drowning, but fire and water put me in the air. All in that ether it gather as soon as I think and imagine it. They want me dead when I spit on this bitch, niggas rise up like Lazarus. That's fucking supreme, I'm programming dream while they talking that fabric. I will call audacious, revealing the faces on all of your savages. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. Popping shrooms, rolling lie in my London fog. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. Yeah, my London fog. Yeah, fucking London fog.
If you do the discipline to get your aura into a geometry where the pine cones can kiss, which means you need to avoid electrosmog. Basically, the electrical definition of sacred space is the only place where your aura can unpack. And and it's correct to call that the awakening, because it's literally the further and further propagation of your field according to the laws of phase conjugation.
Yeah. They want that dope man. So here we go, you got me open. Anything that I ingest in through the mind, go out through the iris. Reality get time bent. You wanna go where I went? I can still feel heat from the black top burning off unseen memories. Got me lit like a matchbox. Really, I was in a room with a pen and a pad, tripping on shrooms. Seeing how the mind do when it's trapped in the cube. You know how I go when it's back to the root. That shit feel. Motherfucker, I'm. Yeah, don't get shit twisted. See, I still get enough wetness from the rainfall to inject every section. Resurrect every blessing of the pain. My connection is collective, universe on my inside. Come and ride with the wind one time. I will never die, why pretend? Tryptamine dripping out my eye. Yeah, that blank mind state is a womb. I gather the spectrum and vibrate the color. Kundalini up out the gutter. What up? Listen to the word that I utter, motherfucker, I ain't.
I slipped off in that fifth, cause that fourth was getting too lonely. Now my squad better get a better grip, cause this world can no longer hold me. You can feel the paradigm shift, even when I'm vibrating slowly. Now I'm moving all in, got my back at the wind, and I'll piss, so don't try to console me. First move I had to make was shake all the fake, forget everything they told me. I'm a guy from within, not born into sin, so why the hell can't I be holy? Everything they've done from the purpose of the sun was attempt to try to control me. Throw it back in their face, get back in my place as an infinite soul just roaming. Infinite soul like Roman, floating in a space more open than my mind can imagine. Till my inner eye gets focused, till my enemy is ferocious. Building up energy and symmetry to split and crash these oceans. Waking you up from this hypnosis that got you paranoid. Watching that time swing, so I'm here to fill that void and make that mind blink. Sophisticated savage, still pumping out these classics through these frequencies. We blast and changing the mind of all the masses. Let's go.
But they want that dope man. They want that mistletoe man. So watch me deliver the present like the future's hopeless. I'm rapping all these worlds. Come step into my realm. I raise my conscience just to silence all the bleeding lamps. No past, no future, I'm now. Right now, I'm killing time. Trailblazing the infinite. By lighting the wick in the spine, my mind became. Tell your mama, yeah. Hey, can't you tell? We won't fail. Cause within this shell grows power within every cell. Yeah, y'all got them bars, but I got them keys to open every cell. Riding through my stargate, cause the cosmos where I partake in the mastery of my fate. Got me raising Kundalini. Watch me vibrate to the frequency of freedom. Just the freedom from religion, giving us a reason to be.
Yeah. I am fucking supreme. Yeah. Yo, I am fucking supreme. I put wings on that serpent. I am so fucking firefly. Yeah, my mind is like fireside. I am at you like pie. I put that on my third eye. I am off inside dimensions, only seen with one eye. Dimensional tryptamine, God, I am seeing the unseen. God, Papa Diamond, that psilocybin got me talking through them trees. God, I'm all inside of the Akashic. That silicone on my conscience. Now every time I trip the veil, my whole world go like timeless. I might fly by with no ride. That mind of mine get time bent. I'm from the land of them giants. This black ring on my iris. I told motherfuckers we never gonna die. I'm over God on these tyrants. Over these gods with synagogues. I just turned my serpent on. That liquid flame get to your brain. Some get lit, some go insane. I've been lifted. Mushrooms in my third eye, not blind. Trip to another high. Slip through another timeline. Flip another 1-6. I am God through 5. Root to the crown. In and out when I want to. I will never die.
I am fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin so I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees, so we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortal, cause I am
fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin so I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees, so we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortals.
Cause I am fucking supreme. Extreme dreaming, I'm scheming. Hunting that ultimate meaning. Bleeding that truth out my stomach. They tried to put up these walls. We're here to break that shit down. We're here to burn all this money. We're here to bring down that crown. Cause we are fucking supreme. We'll be that voice of the...
Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to ride, step into the
buckle up, I'ma show you where it's at. We gon' burn a couple blunts, we gon' pop a couple caps. I ain't talking about 4-5s from the strap. Psilocybin driving, so we headed off the map. What you know about? Tasting color, seeing sound with a crystallize. Turning nothing into something when we alchemize. Vandalize the lies with the truth. Ain't nobody wanna take shots to this proof. All we ever wanted was the answers. Looking for unique, but our vision keep us phantom. Phantom black man, ghost writing in a pentagram. I'm from the place where our thoughts meet the program. Not too many open to the power that they hold. Just know that when we shine, it's the reflection of your soul. Supreme beings moving, watch the galaxy implode. We are not alone. If you not normal, welcome home. Yeah.
Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to ride, step into the
I gotta hold on to this feeling. I'll be seeing visions through the folds of the prism. Projecting all wishes, anything I want is given. Paranormal vision, you can call it supervision. Control the superstition, make them wonder how we do it. They seen us in the mud, now we out here making music with the paranormal movement that's stronger than what you deal with. If Jesus was just a fraud, then hallelujah for Judas. Caesar is not the mob, so it just had to be Brutus. They hate when we on our job, cause persecution is useless. Proof that what we doing is more than just making music. Utilizing the truth, drop it off in the hood. Show 'em what's really good, the feeling is understood. We know just what it means to get it by all means. Supreme beings moving, watch reality explode. We are not alone, if you not normal, welcome home. Yeah.
Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal.
She said it started early.
You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to ride, step into the portal.
Cool case. It started early, Jiggy. Yes. You won't see me right now because I don't know how to even work the fucking thing that they do with the camera and all that shit. So you can just listen to my voice right now and deal with it. Okay? I'll be back. So, hey, listen, guys. Listen to this. Hold on.
This is Billy Carson, a.k.a. Forbidden Knowledge, and you're listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio. They are the paranormal voice of the hood.
Woo! That gets me every time. Does it get you guys? Come on. What does that do when you hear that? Come on. Isn't that kind of funny, though?
This is Billy Carson, a.k.a. Forbidden Knowledge, and you're listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio. They are the paranormal voice of the hood.
In the Wayback Machine, that thing that's called Facebook is even funnier because I think tomorrow is like the anniversary of a show which he was actually on, Paranormal Hood. You know, that shitty show that he made reference to. Woo! We suck so bad, don't we, huh? Doesn't that sound like somebody who hates us? Listen to that. Hold on.
This is Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge, and you're listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio. They are the paranormal voice of the hood.
Come on, doesn't that make you laugh though? It's funny. I'm not gonna get to the conversation until Smoking comes back. So if you have any questions, whatever, or just some random shit, you can kind of throw it out there right now in the chat. And I'll kind of try to chat with you guys a little bit, because it's harder to chat when I'm actually full blown in conversation, because I try to remember things, you know, and points and things that I've been thinking about in my mind for like a week, whatever, and you know, try to spit it out to you all and make it sound coherent, make it sound, you know, intelligent. Oh Lord. Yo, isn't it funny, y'all, though, that this shit has become like rap beef? No, it is really my real laugh. I try not to do it. That's the thing, Alfie, because I became kind of aware of it because of that. And then people always like exactly say the same thing, so you try to change up your laugh, which isn't really. I have different laughs. It all depends on where my mood is, because there's those crazy laughs everybody has that, you know, when you just uncontrollably can't laugh. That's more of the. I think it's like when I see the comedic things, and that's like the irony and so much of the shit, that's when that laugh kind of comes out, because it's not something I do all the time. Like I said again, I have different laughs. But don't most people? Smoke Queen, you have different laughs, right, for different things, right? Like I don't think anybody. If anybody had a standard laugh, like they laugh the same way about everything, I would think something was wrong with that person. That means that to me that there's something in their brain isn't clicking like everybody else. Because could you imagine if somebody, for no matter what the situation was, that required a laugh, that their laugh was always the same? I don't know anybody like that. Maybe a mortician or some shit, like someone like that. Someone who's seen a lot of crazy shit, they may probably have the same laugh, everything, because it is like I see everything the same. I don't know. Anything's possible. Look at the napkins. Huh? Yo. What? Snap? What the fuck? What do you want to be pretty and shit? Smoke King's back in a minute. We'll get some video back for you guys in a minute. Like I said, I didn't want to make you guys wait, so I was nice, because when Cool K says you go back to the live show, you go back. Cool K is like she's like the boss that isn't really like she's the boss, because she's been here since day one. And I gotta always give a shout out to Cool K, because she literally has been here since day one of the show, and remembers more stuff, and will bring up stuff in the chat and stuff over the years that I don't fucking remember. Because when you do this shit, I don't go back and listen to them. No, because I just don't really listen to them. I don't go back and listen to them. There's occasional ones I listen to, and there's some that I want to find, but there's just so many fucking shows over a 6-year period. It's like going through all of them is kind of a meticulous thing, but she literally is like the fucking dictionary or the encyclopedia when it comes to Paranormal Hood. So she's always gonna get love. So when she says you go back, you go back. But okay, let's do this right, folks. All right, here we go. Okay.
1 second, I'll be.
He's eating. So play a little theme music, right? Are you guys ready to come back to the show? Are you ready for the return? Are you ready for us to be back? PD Crack.
312 shows.
Out of mind. Genocide. Alfie. Mysterious Forces Live. Tosh knows what it's like to be up in the studio. Anybody ever really want to know what it's like to be up in here? Natasha, Mysterious Forces Live. I hope she's still in the chat, but she can tell you what it's like to be up. You saw it, but it's seeing it, but experiencing it are two different things. You know what I mean? Like you can see something, but doesn't until you really feel the energy and stuff, you know, then you get it. You understand what goes on here. Okay. All right, folks. So we're back. This is Paranormal Hood Live. We're live and direct in the Garden of Knowledge Studios. It's your host, Jiggy.
I'm Smoke King.
That's just for the people who ever like show up later, like, who the fuck are these two guys? Like, you know, hold on.
A Forbidden Knowledge.
Here's my favorite
and you're
drop.
Listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio. They are the paranormal voice of the hood.
Thanks, Billy. That's such an awesome drop. We're talking about it's like rap beef. Like we were just saying, Alfie, like it's like rap beef. It really is, man. Like you think of the rift that's going on, and pretty much a lot of the folks who are in here, you know, we all kind of bounce around the different things. You go over to Mysterious Forces Live, you go to CW Chanter, you go over to Explaining Esoterica, you go over to Steve Cambion. You know, there's a ton of other people. Joe from the Carolinas, there's Unirock, there's Zen. There's a lot of different people who cover a lot of this stuff. But as you bounce around and stuff, and you see a lot of what's going on. Like there's headlines and shit. Like this shit is like, it really is like rap beef. And I always say this because I heard 50 Cent say that a long time ago, and it makes sense if you see who 50 Cent was, and he still is, because he's still a controversial motherfucker, because that's what he gets his rocks off on. But he always said when it came to shit,
make money like
he
used to.
No, he can't. He's not the same person. But controversy sells. So that's what he did. He always created controversy from the very first rap song that, if anybody knows about 50 Cent, the first rap song that he released that was considered a major song that most people kind of got wind of in the industry and like, you know, even a little mainstream, was How to Rob. And the whole song was about jacking everybody in the fucking industry. Like you name someone who was popular in the industry at that time, from R&B to hip hop, he was naming these people, like name them, like literally, like, you know, I'm gonna run up and take, what was it say? I'll probably rob Bobby Brown for that Whitney Houston money, shit like that. Like, you know, went up a heavy D. I got nothing but love for you. Like the song is brilliant. It is a brilliant fucking song, and it's funny as shit. And if you don't have thick skin, then 50 Cent got under your skin immediately. You know, like, oh, fuck this will do, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's how shit begins. So when I see all this shit play out, it reminds me of rap beef, you know, and the rift is growing more and more every day. And you see these major players who were all friends, all allies, all employed by the same company and stuff, and pretty much at the same time were doing work with this company and stuff. They was homies, Joe. They're the top of the game, right? They're the faces, they're the players, everybody knows, right? Aren't these the dudes? So what happened, man? Where did it all go wrong? I feel like singing like Boys to Men and shit. Although we go to the end. Come on, y'all, sing with me. Who got? Anybody got a bass? Can anybody sing bass? We can do this in 5-part harmony and work it out. No, nobody in the room. Nobody can help me out here. Do a little 5-part harmony. But it's like Boys to Men. It's like the end of the road. That's how I kind of see. Like the band's about to break up and shit. Like the Beatles, I guess. Maybe is that what it is? The Beatles done broke up. Wait, who was the first one to leave the Beatles? Wasn't it what's Yoko? What was his name? What the fuck was that dude's name? John Lennon. Wasn't he the first one to kind of dip? Because of Yoko? Because Yoko, they say, was the one that pretty much broke up the band anyways, right? I don't know if I'm the only one that kind of knows a little history of the Beatles. I might be, but I believe kind of. You don't listen to that? Nope. You never listen to the Beatles? I don't know, like,
I've heard them.
They're not the greatest band in the world to me.
They ain't all that great.
Right,
They
that's
got,
what I'm
they
saying,
got
right.
like one or two good songs.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, yeah.
You know, some songs are okay, and then a whole fucking shitload of crap.
Right. So I don't get it, but I mean, I know who they are.
Same thing with Elvis. I don't get it. I was like, you might have one good song, maybe one okay song, and a whole.
He jacked everybody else's shit anyways.
I know, anyway.
It made him horrible. He took like some dope ass fucking rhythm and blues songs and shit and fucked them all up and shit and slowed them down. Oh, have a blue Christmas without you. Lord have mercy. Whatever. Hey, different strokes for different folks. I don't want to offend any Elvis fans. Like what you like. It's just not my thing. Just that isn't. But anyways, we'll get back to this shit. But it feels like the band's breaking up and shit. Like, and now you start to see how this shit is playing out every day. More and more. There's players switching sides. There's people. It's like everybody's building walls and fences and shit. And they're guarding themselves. And
everybody's throwing everybody else under the bus to save their own asses and shit. Mm-hmm. And it's great because they're coming out and they're actually telling some truth. Some of these people are actually telling the truth about what's going on.
Isn't it crazy that they're finally telling some truth?
Their illustrious careers in the truth community. The truth really is finally coming out of some of these people's mouths.
The irony of it, isn't it? That what it took was some fucking bullshit for the truth to come out. And the truth is smack me.
The end game is near. It's not the end game that David Wilcock wants to talk about all the time.
It's not
very good, and all these other people. It's coming.
It's not the tribunals.
Mass arrests are coming, but I don't think it's coming to the people they think it's coming to.
It's not gonna be Hillary.
these fools keep on doing the things that they're doing. I mean,
they're not gonna drag Obama and Michelle and the dog and the kids out of the way of the old house.
Out of the house and no.
Wherever they living.
No.
And taking them to Guantanamo Bay.
No. Trump's not gonna be the one to string to hang them. And nobody sees anything racist with this stuff when these people say these things.
Oh my God! Look at.
Yeah. You're going to drag Obama and Michelle out of their house, and then Trump's going to be the one to hang them.
Uh-huh.
In a military-style execution.
Dude.
They're going to hang the black ex-president. I mean, come on here, people. I mean, why aren't more people just seeing that? What is wrong?
Hey, look at the clip that Ryan sent us of
Do you want to say this? Wonders why he's being sensitive. Contacted the desert because I'm sure he said some bullshit like that.
I'm sure he talked about his bleach.
Some fucking racist, fucking stupid ass fucking shit like that. And they wonder why they're being censored again. It's not.
Listen, they say whatever they feel. The best thing this week was part of the riff was C.W. Chanta actually calling out Edge of Wonder and even the Falun Gong and their leader and his fucking words about racism and who can go to heaven and who can't and mixed race babies and black people and anybody who's not doesn't go through him can't go. And no one sees. They were so busy. They were so concerned with just the fact that they didn't like that C.W. Chanta was calling out their fucking heroes. That they didn't care about the racial overtones and undertones of all this shit that goes on. Motherfuckers look past that shit real quick. They don't give a fuck. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't mean anything. It's not about that. It's about disclosure. All that matters is disclosure. All that matters is taking out David and Corey.
Aliens. We all need. That's all. Who cares if these guys are racist and they do all that stuff?
They ain't talking about me. It don't matter.
Hitler fed the homeless once in a while too, so that means all that other bad shit that he fucking did, it doesn't matter. It's cool because he was feeding the homeless. Right?
They got Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, that's what you know.
They have Stockholm syndrome. It's the only way I can kind of look at it. That's what it seems like the most plausible thing. If these folks suffer from Stockholm syndrome or something. Oh my God. But the rift is growing bigger and bigger, and you see these players. Now, you know, one of the things this week that came out was that Emery Smith went on, is it the Kev Baker show? And was this Ryan Gable, I think, because I want to make sure I get these folks' names right. And he basically recorded an interview with Emery, and Emery basically just talks about doxing. He names Corey Good. He talks about the fact that they're not friends. Now, he still says that he speaks to David or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that he's still with Gaia. He's still employed by Gaia. He does his stuff with Gaia. But one of the things that he went out of his way to make sure he talked about was Jordan Sather. And the fact that he wants to knock Jordan the fuck out when he saw him. That was his words, not mine. That he wanted to knock Mr. Sather out. Because he knows that Jordan's part of the doxing. And that he's down with Corey and all this stuff. But I don't know, the thing with him and David, whatever, I guess they kind of maintain a friendship.
Which is weird, which I don't understand either, because the great thing about this Emery thing, even though I don't believe his story, and he didn't fucking test no alien tissue samples still either, is he comes out and he says, well, David made up the 3,000 alien bodies. He said that would sound better. I only tested 3,000 tissue samples, and then he goes on to be like, blah, 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 100 to 150 samples could have been from one being, one alien. I don't know how many aliens it was, but I know that I tested over 3,000 tissue samples, but David said to do this and do that. And, you know, he's covering his own ass.
But, you know, there's something that
You can't be like, well, the whole thing was fucking made up, but no, I never said that, but he said that. But and I went along with it because they were threatening me and all this other stuff and everything. Right. So the whole truth is coming out. Why people are saying this stuff, what's going on. Again, they try to cover their asses.
So there's a couple of things that I don't know if anybody else has covered this because I haven't heard everybody's channels who's spoken about this. But there's two things in that statement that kind of stand out for me. One, because Mr. Security used to always dress up as security. When I saw him at Conscious Life Expo, he was dressed up as security. He had security team with him that were dressed up in security uniforms. But he wasn't dressed up like that at Contact in the Desert. Now, he always stated that the reason the people he has security and stuff is because there's threat from the cabal and all this type of stuff. But now he's basically admitting that the threat was internal from the actual people that he was employed with and doing stuff with. It was no external threat. The threat came from David Wilcox and Corey Good. Second thing, because I want to point this out before I forget this in my mental notes, that he also points out is the fact that he says that Gaia has been very good by him, that they pay him about all this stuff that David was saying was a lie.
It was a lie.
Now, what I'd like to try to look back into is the fact that I believe that David Wilcox has spoken about having fundraisers before for Emery Smith. Didn't he also have GoFundMes for him?
I'd like to know where that money went. Did that money go to Emery Smith?
Because why would you have GoFundMe pages set up for someone who clearly
I don't
says himself...
I don't think those were GoFundMe ones. I think they were like a fundraising type of thing, like, oh, I'm doing a live thing, send some donations in and stuff like that. It wasn't a GoFundMe like the Pete Peterson thing.
So again, more donations
which we know
under false pretenses.
All that stuff. We know that whole story that went on with
Thank
the
you
Pete
to Steve
Peterson
Cambion.
thing.
Thank you to C.W. Chanter for really bringing the whole Pete Peterson stuff to light.
So... Did David really? What did David do with that money when he had those quote unquote fundraiser dinners and live chats and streams and whatever he did to fundraise money? Because because Emery was living out of his car and stuff. All these stories that David has been saying for the last few years since Emery Smith has come on the scene are not true at all. They're lies, according to Emery Smith. Now, I mean, again, this is Emery Smith we're talking about. I wouldn't hold everything that he says with, absolute truth, but I would see that some of this stuff is actual truth, like I said at the beginning of the show. Now, these people are actually starting to say some of the truth. Now, he's still covering his ass because he's still under contract with Gaia, and he still has to put out his shows and whatever he does over there, talking about, we know he's not an astronaut, because there's no way, all of his schooling, thanks again, with Steve Cambion digging into looking at that, and we've looked into some of that stuff, and none of that stuff is true. You can't get 3 PhDs and become an astronaut in NASA while testing human bodies and traveling to Mars and doing all this other stuff in the amount of time that he's been on this planet. It's just not possible.
In Bohemian Exile, I get what you're saying. Yes, he is an Air Force vet. That has been proven. I guess but that he knows what he's talking about as an Air Force vet in whatever he did. Now, working on aliens and stuff and everything, it's just a huge
that's
stretch.
A completely different thing. Now, let me see some paperwork. So anybody, I know people that are in the military and stuff. Anybody in the military, they get a piece of paper saying, hey, I was in the military. What exactly did they do in the military? I know people that were officers in the military, but I know people who just were cooks in the military. But they all both have the same piece of paper, basically.
My granddad was a barber because that was the only thing they allowed him to be in the Navy at the time.
Yeah, my grandfather was in the Air Force, all this stuff, but where's documentation? Okay, all that proves that he was in the military. It doesn't prove his story is real. It doesn't prove that any of the stuff that he says is real. Out of all those samples, he couldn't have been like, oh, let me just put this little sample here and let me smuggle this out. Oh, he took those samples, but he tested those samples. What, you didn't get no test results? You couldn't Edward Snowden that shit? Copied the file onto a little memory stick or something like that? Boop, boop, boop. Let me take this out. Let me show some real evidence. But
you said he's in a video for stem cells, but what is
that? Videos for stem cells about what? Stem cells have been around for, I don't know, 30 years. What is Emery Smith, 36? So he didn't invent it. He didn't come up with that technology. What does he have to do with stem cells? It's a technology that's been around longer than him.
PRP, I guess. Listen, a lot of it, I don't...
Listen, yes, with these people, and we talk about this several times, they have some truth to what they say. It's 30% truth, 70% bullshit. Okay, some of the stuff they talk about is real. Yes, the pyramids are in Egypt. That part is real. Aliens buried underneath it. That part is bullshit. And all the other stuff that goes along with it. That stuff is real. Okay, Emery Smith, yes, he worked at some kind of medical type of corporation and everything like that, was involved with that. But he was fired from that corporation and is no longer allowed to speak anything of that corporation because he embezzled over $200,000. Thank you again, Steve Cambion, and I forgot who else has covered that. Again, shout out to anybody who's covered this stuff too, along with us. So these things are, it's all out there. I mean, his story does. There's too many holes in his story. There's way too many. Again, how are you an astronaut and 3 PhDs, and you're broke?
And can you show exactly? You're so
broke.
smart, but you're broke, and your main source of income currently is Gaia.
He says he has all these patents for all these things and stuff, but he can't name common medical devices and things like that. Says he knows all this stuff about medical stuff, but he can't name common medical devices. Common medical things that anybody who's supposedly knows the stuff that he says that he knows doesn't know. I mean, just when you start to look into it, the story just falls apart over and over again. Again, we know that David Wilcock has been injecting stuff into his story as well. So what part did he make up? What part did David make up? How much did Corey throw into the story? How much did Jay Widener throw into the story? Because he was the content creator of all this stuff. He's the one who's been grooming all these people.
And yet another
riff there, because now he's out there. I mean,
the ultimate insider.
He's talking all about throwing Corey under the bus. How Corey did this.
As he stated in his last show, that he is only here for David Wilcox and Corey Good. That is his own purpose. He's not here to answer questions. He's not here to talk about anything else. He is here.
But we need to find out why does he have that one personal vendetta with these two people when all these other people?
Oh, another racist that's getting a pass. Exactly. Everybody's only concerned with him, with what he has to say. And the thing about it is, he's not really giving you anything you don't know. All he really says is, "Yeah, see, I was there for that. Yeah, I heard that." The only real hero in all this is Kelly Farmer. Because most of this began with the doxing, with her release and that stuff. I mean, a lot of this information has come out over the years of people who've done a lot of legwork. So I'm not taking that away from anything. But as far as Duxgate, as far as how that stuff kind of really just is blown up to the point where a lot of these risks are created, was because of Kelly. For Emery to come out and start talking about Jordan, to start talking about Corey Good, to speak about David in the way that he's speaking about them. And I want to clarify something too that somebody said earlier, that when he spoke about Guy, he had nothing negative to say about Guy. You're kind of mixing up that the Ryan kid was saying, "Oh, so you mean that there's mad management?" He said no. He did not say that was what Ryan said. Emery basically is saying that he is on great terms with Guy. They have taken care of him. He's still employed by Guy.
They've always taken care of him. He's good terms with him. He's still employed with Guy. He loved working with Guy.
He has no problems with Guy.
There's no Luciferian.
No,
he doesn't know about any bad business dealings.
Nothing.
Any of that.
No.
Mentioned some lawsuits with some other people.
Yep, he did mention lawsuits.
So these people are suing each other. I mean, Corey is suing David Wilcox, yet they're still doing conventions together. They're still doing videos together. If I was suing you, would you be over here would we be doing this? No, I don't think so.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be happening.
Let's just casually sue each other, okay? And it will.
We'll just tell everybody we're suing each other and stuff, but we'll still be friends and everything. We'll just, we'll just create some more controversy.
Yeah. So Guy is the bad guy, but Jay Widener is the good guy. But he worked for Gaia. He's calling the only two people he really cares to call. Like he said, he has no problem with Emery. He has no problem with all these other people. The only other person he technically had a problem with was Pete Peterson.
Like I said,
ironically.
they're all covering they all have their beefs. Mostly everybody's beef is with Corey, David, and Jordan. So they're all calling each other out on this stuff, and they're all throwing all this stuff out, throwing each other under the bus. But they all are still covering their asses, like Jay. He's talking about Corey and David and all the stuff they do and all the lies and everything that they are. But he's still covering his ass with this Corey stuff. I mean, with Emery, we know that, again, 90% of his story we just talked about is bullshit. And Emery's and Jay still backs that up. Jay still stands by some of his other videos and his other movies with the Attica alien and stuff like that. Little mini alien that's not an alien at all. They've done DNA testings. It's been debunked for years now.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
It's a whole bunch of bullshit. Yep. He still goes along and says that stuff is real. This is that. This is that. I stand behind all this work at Gaia that is not real at all. So he's saying that these guys over here, none of that stuff that they talk about is real, but my stuff over here is still real. So that's where you still see the problem.
Because he is
most likely still getting a check from Gaia. He is not going to speak. He retired. So you retired from filmmaking. You retired from producing. It doesn't mean you're not still getting a check from them on some level, because he doesn't have to speak bad about Gaia. But the irony is that all the infighting you look at, from Jay to Corey to Emery to Jordan, you look at even Billy Carson. Let's throw Mr. Carson in the ring. Ding, 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 ding. Welcome. Another one, Gaia employee.
He could have an NDA, and he can't may still be under that, and then may not be able to talk about certain things and stuff like that. But
and he shouldn't be out here bashing shit.
Exactly. He can talk all about Corey and David, but he can't talk about other things. So that's where the NDA thing kind of goes out, because that seems like a really peculiar NDA. Yeah, we just want you to sign this NDA, and you can talk about these two, but you can't talk about any other employees and stuff. You got to say they're all getting.
But that's why I also say that he's probably still down with them, because if that is the case, they would say, okay, because these people are speaking bad about Gaia, knock yourself out, go trash them.
I know he definitely is getting residual income and stuff, because his name's on all that stuff and everything like that. So as long as they keep on putting that stuff up, he still gets money, which if he pisses them off, they could be like, well, we're not going to put his stuff up anymore, and he won't get any more of that income and whatever, which they could do. So that's another reason why he's protected it and everything like that. But he's protecting himself, and he's protecting, especially with that bullshit apology about the racist stuff there. I mean, that was the most ridiculous thing, apology ever. You know, so he's protected. They're all protecting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy calling out Jordan, and there's another one. Jordan's getting called out by everybody, but Jordan's calling out Billy.
Too. I just want to point out something, because Jordan, remember Billy? I told you that Billy introduced me to Jordan. We sat down.
They were all buddies and stuff.
But according to Billy, he didn't. But according to Jordan, which was his comment where he said, I went from cool to fool when he met me last year. So I have met all these people. They are all connected, as I said. But Billy said I'm a fucking liar, which I'm not, because that's how I met his boy Jordan. Nothing, all this little infighting. Billy Carson.
Billy called out Jordan for doxing people, saying that he's hiding and everything. But Billy is hiding some stuff himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where are you at, Mr. Carson? You said you're going to come on our shitty show and talk to us.
Saying that Jordan's hiding the docs and stuff and everything like that, but you hiding a whole bunch of stuff too. And then Jordan calls Billy out for posting some fake news. He's like, "Oh, why are you posting fake news? What are you
about the
shill
bleach
or something
or
like
some
that
shit,
about the bleach story and everything," which isn't fake news.
Because
Drinking
bleach, boy.
Whether
like
it has a
drinking
bottle,
bleach.
whether it has a label on the front of it that says medical miracle solution or not, it's not good for you. No matter what type of bleach, it doesn't matter. Yes, there are different types of bleach, different strengths of bleach. You're not supposed to drink it in the concentrated forms that these people are drinking in and doing, and with fucking enemas with bleach, brush your teeth with bleach and shit like that. That's fucking retarded shit. That's probably why Jordan Sathers was censored, because he's out there saying this stuff, and they're like, well, we can't be...
Went to an autism event.
I know, literally went to an autism event. Talking about giving this stuff cures autism. How this dude gonna call out people about fake news when he's going around fucking talking about giving kids with autism bleach?
Fake news.
They want to inject this shit into people that are severely sick. This is what.
And don't they get it anally too? Isn't it like you don't?
Yeah, the enemas and stuff,
enemas
and all this stuff. This is why Jordan Sathers was most likely censored, because the Contact of the Desert was like, yeah, we're into some pretty on the edge stuff over here that we talk about, but you're gonna hurt some people with the stuff that's being said, Jordan. I haven't heard your whole speech and everything that you said, but I can imagine, because you cannot talk about this stuff. You're contracted by these people to promote it. You talk about it all the time everywhere you go. And then you're talking about, other things that you shouldn't. I mean, the whole school shootings and the Pizzagate and the Q thing and everything like that. That's
Q anus.
They're not censoring you because you're telling the truth and stuff like that. They're censoring you because you're an insensitive prick.
Actually, Michael Adams, he has said that he drinks the bleach. He's made videos where he said he's done it himself.
He's done it, and he's actually, I think he did one where it's like brushing his teeth or something.
Yeah, it makes sense though. Maybe that's why he's all fucked up.
drinking
But
bleach
another
and
one,
shit.
he only cares about his money because he just made a video a little bit earlier tonight before we went on live complaining, oh, YouTube's going to be doing another censor and purge thing and everything like that. Who are they going to get this time? They're already censoring everybody as it is. My my new subscriber count is down. My views are down and stuff. I'm losing money.
Because you're talking about drinking bleach, you fucking idiot.
Drinking bleach and the Gershon fucking therapy and this the stupid other stuff that he pushes, these products and everything that literally are hurting people. If you drink the doses that they recommend for the MMS for a prolonged period of time, your intestines literally start falling out of your asshole. Why would you tell somebody to go and do that? And then tell people that are already have serious illnesses and debilitating illnesses and diseases and things like that, autism, whatever, to do that. Especially kids with autism. Do you know how hard just to get some of these kids with their sensitivities with stuff like that, and then you want to give them bleach and see how they react? And then when they have a bad reaction, no, that's the medicine working. It's getting the bad out of you. No, that's the medicine killing you. And then this kid wants to go on to Contact the Desert and have a workshop, whatever this kid is having a workshop on, and talk about scientists like Nikola Tesla and stuff. But he claims to not believe in science and everything we're taught in school is bullshit. He should have gone and stayed in school, and he should have learned that bleach is not good for anybody, especially autistic people.
Especially sick people, period. Because
Sick
they're giving it to
anybody,
people with
even
various
healthy people,
ailments.
anybody. Him, he looks to be somewhat of a healthy person, except for upstairs. Other than that, he seems to be in somewhat of a good
From the neck
health,
up,
except
homeboy, you need to
besides
check up.
Mentally, he's out there. So even for him to be drinking it, and if he really is, at some point in time, we're going to notice, because he's going to start to look really sick. He's going to be like, no, don't worry, this stuff is working. I had a lot of bad stuff I'm purging.
Yeah, it's the cabal. They gave me the flu.
There's a big difference in that kind of purge. Might eat some mushrooms and some peyote buttons or something like that, and you might purge something there. But you're okay after that. You purge out your fucking intestines, dude. It's kind of hard to fix that. There's a lot of people. That's why this stuff on the news and people are coming out with this, because a lot of people are ending up in the emergency rooms and in the hospital because of this. And doctors are like, we can't fucking grow your intestines back now.
Doesn't work that way. We might better 3D print some for you, maybe.
We can make it shorter and stuff, but you're gonna have the runs for the rest of your life.
You might need a bag. Get a little colostomy bags.
I mean, now these people are like, fuck. I was fucking sick before. Now I'm even more fucked. And then he wants to sit there and say it's fake news. They're censoring him and stuff like that. No, they're protecting people. And that's what these people are doing.
She said maybe the bleach cleaned up his horrible acne. Does he have acne? I don't watch his videos enough to be looking at his face.
Yeah, when he was younger, he did.
Who did?
Most people. And who didn't? Who didn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't noticed anything that bad now. I mean, I'm fucking 40 almost, and I still get acne and stuff. So whatever. But
listen. So that riff continued now that he's riffing with Contacting the Desert. Now he's got a problem at the place where he probably paid to speak at, but they probably censored because they probably weren't
according to
expecting
him, he wasn't paid, and he didn't pay except for what he paid to go there, out of his pocket to go there and everything like that. But there's a contract that he's upset about the contract being violated. But if there's no money involved in anything like that, it's just, you know what I mean, what fucking kind of a meaningless contract. I mean, it's just my word, your word, and you sign this paper, I sign this paper. What happens if I violate this contract? What is this contract? Okay, sorry, Jordan, shit happens. More important people needed fucking bigger spaces or something like that at different times and everything.
Yeah, you know, David Wilcox had to speak with all the security. Didn't he have a bunch of security?
We've seen what you've been fucking talking about lately. We didn't want to put you on too many things, like a panel and everything like that, so we just kept you on your little things that you did or whatever.
You know what, though? I wish that I could have someone could have, I don't know if anybody knows anybody who actually filmed David Wilcox speaking or filmed anybody in the room, because I'd like to see what the security, they said it was like 7 security, but I want to see who the security
I've
was.
been
and stuff, too.
looking for it. I'm sure it's going to come out soon.
Yeah, but no one's going to scan the room. The stuff that they're going to put out is just probably going to be focused on him.
Look, Kelly at CW.
I asked CW, he said they didn't do that. He said they didn't really pay attention enough. Like, they paid attention, but they're not going to be able to give me a detail. Like, if I could see a video, it says a lot. 1, 2, because again, Emery was there, didn't have his normal security. Could have been the same fucking security, which would have been Emery. So, again, these people played these
Emery
games.
probably didn't have the security to be like, yeah, see, I'm not afraid of you guys. Look, I don't need security anymore, guys.
Well, shit, he's the only one that's so like he's got some fucking balls because he's like, I'm gonna fucking knock this motherfucker out when I see him.
They all run the other way, look the other way and stuff, pretend like they don't see people and stuff when they're there. And so everybody's throwing everybody under the bus, saying, "Oh, I never said this. They made me say this, and oh, these guys made that story up, and this is how it really happened." And oh, these shows, they just sat there doing this, and I groomed them this, and I groomed them that, and it's just a whole lot of bullshit.
There's a whole lot of players who are
and it's all, and like I said, it's all unraveling. We've been not. It's been unraveling. Some people are like, I don't see it going away. I don't see it. It's not going away. But I'm like, if you look at what's happening and everything, it keeps happening, and each time it's worse and worse and worse. Now they don't have their Jimmy Church as an outlet and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
because he's being called out too. Jordan's calling him out earlier.
Oh yeah, because
That's
Jimmy's mad on him about the doxing and everything and stuff like that, and Jimmy's saying there was no censoring of anything or whatever. I saw some of the things earlier and stuff, and they were on a video. Who was I watching? I forgot who. So they don't have that outlet and stuff. They're losing outlets and sources. The convention community and stuff like that are kind of pushing away and stuff. I don't think David Wilcox or Jordan said he's definitely not going to be back in contact in the desert and stuff. Corey's already out of the fucking convention circuit altogether. He's trying to start his own thing, which that ain't going to happen. They tried to have another one previously, and they canceled it because they say it's threats and stuff. But it was
no, that was Jimmy's though. The East Eddie thing was Jimmy. That was Jimmy and
No.
I'm thinking East Eddie or whatever, I think, or someplace, something like that. But no.
But it's really
David
cool
Wilcox,
ticket
their stuff
incentives.
is still on, though. But David Wilcox and their cosmic, whatever the fuck it is, thing is still happening as far as
it's
I know.
happening so far, but who knows?
Dude, the room,
how many
they
tickets
said
are
the
gonna
room
sell?
holds 700 people, I think, what they said was the max, the room, when I heard him describing it, whatever. So you'd be surprised.
700 people, 100 of those people are friends and family of the people that are speaking, so that gets you down to 600. You got some people that work there and stuff. I mean,
All right, listen, whatever. Listen. They can go if they want to. People.
I mean, people can go and stuff, but I'm just saying it's just they're not where their platform is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Well,
Edge of Wonder is, you know what I mean? Edge of Wonder is a YouTube channel. It's not Gaia TV where people can get the subscription and
But they got Epoch Time
and they've been
behind them.
watching this. They got no, but because no, you got to remember because see now they're covering their asses and stuff and trying to throw on their own fucking bosses under the bus. Oh, we're not associated with these people and everything and all their new little about in their bio and stuff. We're our own independent thing and blah 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 blah, which is bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right, Bohemian Exile. That's a lot of it too, because Jordan loves pushing that, and he was out there holding court and everything with it, and talking about they don't want to hear the truth and blah blah blah. It's like
Because that's
dude.
all been debunked, and the stuff that it's all racist, bigot, fucking. It's all bad stuff. That the whole Q thing just screams, fucking. Bad stuff. It's racist. How are you going to be about, oh, love and light? Oh, we love everybody. We got to come together. We got to ascend. But hold on, Donald Trump, a racist, misogynistic, egotistic, sadistic, fucking asshole.
I mean, it's the anniversary of the fucking the 5.
He's
Central Park
the one we
5.
got to trust. He's going to save the
Yeah.
country and the world. We got to
The
build
universe.
a wall. How is building a wall bringing everybody together? We want to separate away get the white people. We got to vet the white people can come in, but everybody else we got to vet them and stuff. That's some racist bullshit. How the fuck is that peace, love, and light? Okay, that's why nobody wants to be around that stuff, because the Q shit is some racist bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. Nobody wants to be fucking trust the fucking government. This whole fucking community is based on not trusting the government and the bullshit that the government has told us. But now all of a sudden Q comes along and everybody's like, trust the government. Trump's a good guy. Trump's going to save the world. Trump's going to save himself. That's all he gives a fuck about.
And the people who are down with him.
If you think that Trump is here to save the world or save anybody else but himself, then something's wrong upstairs. You got a problem. Okay? Because it's not happening. Nothing that Q says comes true. Nothing that Q rabbles and posts and buds and blah, blah, blah has ever come true. It's all fake, all bullshit.
It's fake news.
It's all racist fake bullshit.
Q is racist fake news. Don't fall for the okie doke. I'm here to tell you it's fake news. And that's what Jordana Sather likes to push. That's what she loves to push.
And if these people were giving away dark secrets like they say they were, they'd be taken out. Because there's been people taken out for giving away less supposed secrets than these guys are giving away.
Again, they believe that the secret cabal people can kill.
Look at what they did to JFK, but David Wilcox can keep running his mouth.
Exactly. Corey Good can keep talking.
They've taken out presidents, but these guys are Gaia TV and Edge of Wonder can keep on talking, and Jordan Sather and stuff like that.
They'll tell you about all the stuff that all the CIA can do, all these people
that you need to ask yourself when you're listening to people, when you're trying to discern, what is this person saying, and should I be listening to it? Is it true? Exactly. That's Alfie. Number one thing when you wake up and you become privy to all this stuff. Everybody, 5 years ago, everybody was preaching, don't trust the government. Question everything. And now it's, don't question anything. Trust the government. Trust the plan. Go Q. Whoa. Hold on here. What happened? And now it's like, trust the mainstream media. Oh, what? I mean, because they're talking about aliens, and that proves everything. They're talking about UFOs, so we can trust them now. No, but because that falls back onto another big, huge conspiracy theory that people seem to forget about. What happened to the government creating a fake alien invasion to get everybody to come together and start a new world order to save everybody from the aliens?
What would it take?
But everybody forgot about
that.
Everybody's like, disclosure.
To bring us all together.
About aliens, so it must be true. It must
be a foreign
real.
enemy. Not from here.
What's up, Steve Camion? Glad you could join us.
What's up, Steve?
Everybody else, too, who's joining in and been here. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share
But you know what, Bohemian Exile, what you say, here's even the thing. Let's say that Agent Orange, because I want to stop saying it, I like to call him Agent Orange, is a time traveler. If he represents the future, and this motherfucker came from the future, it does not look good for the rest of us.
That's not good for anybody.
If that's what the future is, if that's what he represents to make the future, then you better believe we're all fucked.
I'd like to see your evidence of this man from the future, too.
No, I get, well, if you talk, there's some back. Remember the whole thing about even Barron Trump, because there's that book and all that
whole stupid story.
All these blah, blah, blah.
Because Q likes to use that, too, as their evidence. I know. That whole thing that's
according to Q, JFK Jr. is alive. That Q is JFK Jr. Like, seriously? Really? If JFK Jr. was alive, I doubt that, one, he'd be for Trump and be... But come on, seriously? Did you know JFK Jr.? Do you know the Kennedys? Like, did their background? I know their grandfather was a fucking bootlegger and a scumbag, but that has nothing to do with what they actually were about. They didn't make their money off of politics, one. So they weren't grounded in making money off of politics, except for Ted. Ted was kind of the shady one. But the rest of them did not make money off of politics. Most people don't actually know where the Kennedys get their money from, but it ain't politics. Politics is the short where their money comes. And they're philanthropists. They give a lot of shit away. So JFK Jr. is not alive and be fucking Q anus. If JFK Jr. was alive, it would not be for fucking Agent Orange.
He didn't fake his death to become part of a secret breakaway government and stuff like that.
That's it.
If there was a secret breakaway government, there would be like literally the evil cabal, the bad government and stuff that supposedly these guys broke away. They'd be fighting. There'd be wars and shit all over the fucking place and stuff like that. They wouldn't be able to keep that shit under wraps, okay? And just think about this stuff. Yup. People up here. You got this. Use them. Use it. Ask questions. Ask these questions. Remember, question everything. Everything. Question what I'm saying. Anything that I'm saying, every word that comes out of my mouth, you can ask me any questions you want. Question it. You can go look it up.
Shit, Elvis is alive.
Do some
Tupac's
research.
alive. Janis Joplin. Everybody's alive.
Well, everybody's alive.
Everybody's alive.
Nobody
dies.
Nobody dies.
They don't die. They multiply. Supposed to be working in the White House. Yeah, Q's working in the White House. Again,
that's what I mean. Nobody who follows Q knows anything about Q, and the Q story, nobody can get any of it
and the
straight.
government
It's
wouldn't
all
be
bullshit.
looking into figuring that shit out. Like, yeah, they're good. If there was any top secret real shit being leaked, this is the thing. This is their narrative. This is what David talked about. This is what these people always talk about. We've got these insiders, guys. Now they're high up in the government. Supposedly, people know generals and all these army men and captains and lieutenants and presidents and everything. But where?
Look at Julian Assange. Look at Edward Snowden. Look at what's happening to them. Look at what happened to Chelsea Manning. Okay. Now, if Q was leaking some stuff, they'd be onto him. They'd be finding them, okay? They can track. They know. Again, this is the government. They know everything. Remember, people?
They did track him right to
They're
Jordan Satan's door.
all of this shit.
One of Corey Good's little groups. Q Anus.
So if Q was really a government insider and he was leaking all this pertinent information to everybody, the government would be onto him and the government would lock him up just like they did to the other people.
Q would go down. Down.
And the same thing would happen to David Wilcox and
Corey Good, Emery Smith, Pete Peterson, Jason Rice, who the fuck ever.
All these people, when these government insiders and all this, they're leaking this information from their briefings. They don't even think they know what a briefing is.
They know about briefs.
And
they wear briefs. They still wear tighty-whities probably. That's what their briefs are. That's the briefs they're getting.
They'd all be in handcuffs. They all would. I mean, fucking
Elizabeth, did you bleach my briefs?
Okay, if anybody, not to knock everybody at Contact in the Desert, because there are some people there.
I've been there. I would have went. I just
if the majority of the people there saying what they were saying were actually telling the truth, the real FBI and shit would be there to put handcuffs on all of them for being whistleblowers. Real whistleblowers.
Take them upstage. But hey, hold
and then
on.
they would all get locked up, and then it'd be fucked in the head, and they'd come out like Chelsea Manning. They'd go in like one, and they'd come out like the other. And not that there's anything wrong with that or anything like that, but you can see prison fucks with people's heads and stuff because there was something happened there. There's something totally happened with that whole entire situation when you start to look into that, and that's a whole nother episode and a whole nother show. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing that and everything, but there's a lot of weirdness with how all of a sudden that decides to happen at that point in time and everything like that. Really a weird thing. And again, I've been to jail and stuff, and I've been in prison, fucks with your head and stuff. Things happen, especially they were drugging her and everything like that. So there's a lot of other things. That's again for a whole nother show. But again, if you're actually leaking information like she did, he did, like they were doing, you'd be in handcuffs too. You'd be under arrest. Okay.
But they have FBI.
They'd be questioning.
They have former FBI,
they'd
former
be
CIA,
saying,
former everything around them though. John D'Souza, all these different folks. They all
and
work
again,
for the government.
that's not red flags. No, that doesn't raise any red flags to anybody.
I'm a former. I used to.
We had John D'Souza on the show, and he's real good at what's the word I want to say? How can I say it?
He's a good talker.
He can talk, but he doesn't give you any information and stuff. He's good at leading you on and stuff. Kind of like the FBI and stuff when they call him, hey, what's going on in my case and stuff? Blah, 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 blah. We got this and that and this and that. We'll have to read you the report when we're all done with it. And he just says, you gotta read it in my book. But you read it in his book, and it's like, this is kind of the same thing you just said to me, dude. You just added a couple of words, and there's no evidence here at all. There's no proof, there's no nothing. It's just your speculations and your thoughts and opinions. There's not one picture, there's not one evidence, there's nothing in his book. So I kind of wonder, is Mr. D'Souza and these other people, are they still actually working for the government? They're not actually the government's just like, we need these people to believe this shit, so go out there and run with it. Because that's what it looks like. All this stuff is disinformation, limited hangout, fucking psyop fucking type bullshit when you break it down, when you get into it and you look at it. It's to confuse, to divide and separate all the people from fucking looking into the truth and what's really going on with anything, if there anything else may really be going on that people think is really going on. When you got people out there thinking that there's blue chicken birds and it's okay to drink bleach and stuff like that, that's kind of hard for those people to fucking be searching for the actual truth and stuff and figuring out what's really going on. That's just my thoughts and opinion on that. You know what I mean? But then you think about it logically, seems more likely that would be the case. Yeah, isn't it? Exactly. Dimensions of Disclosure, DOD, Department of Defense. I mean, all this stuff, everything about them, all this shit. Now, I'm not saying they're all are. Some of them, again, especially the former agents of the CIAs and NSAs and FBIs and all that stuff. Yeah, there's some questions there. That's a big red flag. Because anybody who knows anybody in any type of law enforcement, even when you retire, you don't retire. You in that shit for life, basically.
Unless you move away and become Grizzly Adams somewhere. Move up to the mountains. Y'all saw Tombstone. You can never get out that light. Once you in it, you in it. I'm your Huckleberry. Yeehaw! So I was eating a piece of pizza. I'm hungry. Okay. I have some more over there. Empty. Yeah, I'll grab some in a minute. Listen. And the funny thing is, the riffs are self-created.
Yeah, these guys are creating this stuff themselves. But I don't mind it. This is, I mean, yep. I'm not one for fighting and anything like that. But this I don't mind, because they are literally tearing themselves apart from the inside out. They are. The whole entire thing. They're tearing each other on, because their stories are coming apart now. Because they gotta cover their asses on this. Well, I never said that. He said this, and she said that, and this and that. But that starts to put holes in your own story and stuff like that. Even though, because now you got to make up and cover and fill in those holes somehow now. Because that's what David Wilcox is good for. He fills in the holes to your story. You come to him, you're like, yeah, I got this thing here. You know, I talked to blue chicken birds and stuff like that. You know,
all right, hold on.
I don't know really where to go with that. You know,
give me a little while.
Mars and
okay.
Oh,
give
wait,
me more.
This is perfect. I got a 20 in the back program.
Right.
We can do that.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Right. Come on. Give me more. All right. Now, Elizabeth and I are going to sit here. We're going to spitball all night until we get some really good bullshit for you, and then you're going to have to fill in some blanks. Now, what you're going to have to do is go home and take some basic. Just go on YouTube, get some basic acting classes so that you can look convincing. But don't worry. Over at Gaia, we got this great guy named Jay Widener. And dude, trust me, what he's done for me, he's going to do for you. And you're going to be stars. You guys are going to be celebrities. Because it's not how he got introduced. That CW then pointed out that he's a rock star. And it was like, whoa!
Corey went on freaking Project Avalon, soaked up everything that he could. And David, I mean, we know that David, he's a creator. We know that, I mean, how Jay Widener can sit there and say that you know, he stands behind the other stuff he did at Gaia and stuff, it's real and everything, when he was the content creator, the head of creating content. He wasn't the executive producer. He was creating content. He wasn't the head researcher. The lead investigator.
He wasn't the gaffer. He wasn't the key grip. No, he created the and he
contract.
But he also takes credit for editing it. He also takes credit for being in the booth and being able to interrupt guys and tell them no. Because here's the thing.
Say it like this and say it like that. Well, if this stuff is real and they're talking the truth, what does it matter how they're saying it?
Yeah. And the stuff still got released. It's still out there.
Because if they were really saying it truthfully, they wouldn't have to be acting. They wouldn't have to be blah, 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 told what to do. But we know that, again, like I was saying with the creator, because that's, you know, Jay likes to tout that, but so does David. David put in his apology letter after as a fucking
content creator.
That I've never seen a resignation letter like that before. I mean, it's usually a couple, maybe a paragraph long. I feel that I'm no longer able to work for this company. Blah blah blah.
That's the
that
angry
dude writes a
ex-employee.
75 page.
That's when a motherfucker get fired. And they mad they got fired, and they didn't get a chance to tell everybody how they felt, so they're gonna write you a long ass letter and shit.
It says it in the apology.
Dear management,
5 or 6 times he loves to say it. I created content. But
do you want to make
for
sure
Guy
he get some
TV
residuals?
for over 5 years? Created. He doesn't say I diligence researched and checked sources and facts and did all this stuff to come out with a show and present you guys the facts and truth for 5 years. He made sure that he let everybody know
I was a content creator.
Created the content.
I created content for Gaia. That's what I did. It was all about the money. And then they kept buying my bullshit. I brought in Corey Good, Pete Peterson, Elmo, there was Bert and Ernie. I bought them. All the characters were present. I got them in there, and things were going smoothly. And then Corey Good lost his mind. And it's funny how now, all of a sudden, too, Corey's the mastermind. Corey's the mastermind. Corey Good. Everybody, he's the bad guy.
Saying,
he's the manipulator.
With the doxing and stuff, he has to have something on some of these people. He has to do so. There's something to it.
There was
his videos and him and stuff like that. Although it kind of makes makes a little sense because when you look at
I'm telling you, it was a secret orgy tape. If you understand that these motherfucking get-togethers, these fucking conferences and shit, what goes on in these hotels afterwards and shit, that's probably what it was. There's a secret orgy tape, and Corey didn't participate. He just filmed everybody.
What's the usual suspects? When nobody suspects that dude, he's the kingpin of it. Because you look at Corey, and you're like, yo, this dude can't.
Wait, he's verbal? He's Kaiser Sose? Corey Good is Kaiser Sose?
You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be the fucking shit? Like, he really is intimidating and fucking doing all this shit. He's the mastermind behind this whole thing. But when you look at him, you're like, this dude? No, come on now. Wouldn't that be some shit?
It's probably his wife. It's probably Phoenix Stacy. She was his biggest advocate. I told you. I didn't even know who the fuck she was talking about him. I knew. Sorry, I remember snipping his name. She just kept saying, and I'm so-and-so's wife. I was uh-huh. And then my eyes went a little crossed and shit. And I thought I was having another aneurysm because that's what happened when I had the first one. My eyes actually, one was asymmetrical looking this one. That's what I kind of felt like and shit. Yeah. It's probably one of their wives. That's probably who the real mastermind is somewhere. I'm telling you, I know Jay Widener, all of them, they all fucking in bed with each other. And now they're all breaking up, and one by one, like, the band is just fucking talking shit. Like, do you know what it was like to work with Paul? Like, Paul was the worst. Like, he's the worst. He's the worst.
Yeah, he's the one who...
They never wanted Yoko around.
So bad. I wrote it this way, but he was like, no, we got to put it out this way.
No, Yoko? Like, they didn't want my wife around? Fuck, come on. Now they're all breaking up. But it's good. Like, the thing is, they're snitching on themselves, too. They're snitching on each other, but they're snitching on themselves. Emery, once you start talking about part of your story, now you have to really be able to back up the rest of it. Just a DD 214 and stuff saying that you're in the military, that's great. But come on, dude, all those 300, even 300, you didn't keep anything. There's nothing else. And you're such a smart guy, 3 PhDs in NASA, but your main source of income is from Gaia, and you complain about being broke or whatever. Or maybe that was a David Wilcox lie. You could also, maybe you could clear all that up too.
3 PhDs and he's an astronaut, but he not the greatest public. He doesn't come across as somebody with 3 PhDs and stuff. He really, I don't know. I mean.
Well, some smart people aren't really social, though. So they may not be able to handle
but when
social
you're out there and that's what you do, and not even the social thing. He's just the way that he talks and the words, and he's like struggling with you can see that he's thinking and processing.
Bohemian Exhile, hold on. Since you know so much, I'm not saying that in a condescending or an asshole way. Do you know where he says he got these 3 PhDs? So I might have to look that shit up again because I was it some University of Phoenix online type shit too? You just get them all online. Who was it? Steve Cambion? Who was talking about that? They have a name for that when you get degrees online. Some kind of, I don't know what the fuck it was. It was some funny ass fucking word that they used for it.
Yeah, just because his LinkedIn said he worked for that stuff doesn't mean he actually worked for that stuff.
Thank you,
I know
William
that
Bennett,
he did work.
DD214.
He worked for some tech company, and they have a restraining order of him because he fucking went woohoo wackadoo.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Hold on, I'll bring up the articles and stuff on that, and if you like, in a minute, and I'll try and get it, see if we can get the thing working and doing that and stuff, and start showing, instead of just talking about this stuff. Again, everything that we're saying is available for you to research and to look into online and stuff. And we could look into see if he actually worked at the Federal Reserve and everything like that. It's not. I mean, I again, when Corey Good says that he does things, I don't believe half of. I don't believe 90% of it. If he said he just took a shit, I really don't think I would believe him.
And he could have been a fucking. I mean, he could have been a bill collector for a fucking Citibank or Capital One.
Citibank and Capital One and stuff.
Doing skip chasing and shit.
You know what I mean? He could have fucking worked in a call center. Hi, my name's Corey. What can I do for you today?
But he's another one that's crying broke all the time. Like literally
you're
watching
so smart,
him.
and
We had to move. We had to move here. These people are so intelligent and they're creators. They have all this technology stuff, and they're giving all this stuff away, but they don't have nothing to show for any of it. These egotistical, money-hungry people, like how much does fucking Wilcox get? 10 grand or whatever it is to fucking speak. But that's no other way. Not him, but the rest of them claim to be so smart and have all this experience. Corey Good, 320 and back. So that's 60 years alone. And how old is he now? And he's probably almost 50. So that's 110. Is that 100? Am I doing my math right? Right? Yeah, 110 years old. Shouldn't he be a smart motherfucker? Like, he should be able to sit home and have some kind of a fucking crazy job that's sitting in front of a computer. I just made $1 million. He should be the smartest motherfucker on planet Earth.
Exactly, Steve. He was a low-level paying worker. He wasn't the fucking head of Citibank or the Federal Reserve or anything. I mean, he could have been a fucking janitor for all we fucking know there. Just because he said he was employed at Citibank and stuff. I forget what Steve, you might remember because you're in the chat. What was the company that he was fired from and they have restraining orders and stuff against him? Because he fucking went wackadoo. He totally fucking went off the fucking wall, so they had to get a restraining order against him.
Yeah, because he probably fucking lied about some technology. I got this technology from the aliens, and we can make a whole lot of money from it, but just give me an advance because I got to do something. And once he got the money, he was like, oh, but yeah, what do you mean it doesn't work?
Then Emery Smith was working at a company and fucking stealing money. I mean, come on. I'm not saying that I got a perfect fucking pass or anything like that and everything, and I didn't do anything when I was younger. I didn't do this shit when I was in my fucking 40s. I learned my lesson when I was, doing stupid shit as a kid, learning about life and stuff. You learn, okay, this is not good. Let's not do this anymore. I didn't continue out, make myself out to be a career con man or
the way that these people stand up for them, like I said, they done bought their bread. Some of these people aren't victims. But the bottom line is overall what it's doing for the community, especially with all the infighting right now, because with all the bullshit going on, what isn't happening is any real disclosure. The only disclosure is that there's doxing, that they're fighting, there's lawsuits, that these motherfuckers are all fighting amongst themselves. They don't really pick on Billy Carson, probably because he's the black dude. They don't want to go with the black dude, yo.
We're finding out what's not real that everybody claims is real. So, I mean, there is some good coming out of it. There's some good.
But at what point can they even, like, again, him, well, I did 300 samples of what? Really? Aliens? Okay. One of Corey's jobs was help desk, which is like a $12 an hour low-level guy who gets you a new mouse if you work in the office. Hey, and we're not shitting on any jobs. Work where you work, do what you do. But the way that they make these stories out to be, their resumes, they pad their resumes. Who hasn't padded a resume? Most people have padded a resume unless you're just...
Jordan Sather, Mr. I hate the mainstream media, calls out Billy Carson because he's posting mainstream articles that are fucking bullshit, supposedly, according to Jordan Sather, on his fucking resume and fucking bio on his fucking stupid website there. I've appeared on this show on fucking some news channel, and I've appeared on Comedy Central.
Yeah, well, you got fucking roasted. You didn't realize it. No, that was I gotta practice his voice. I got fucking Wilcox down. Let me get Jordan's fucking voice. He thought that was a win. I'm telling you, he came back and I taught them something they don't think, but now it's in their head. And the mainstream folks got to hear about Q anus and everything and blah blah blah. He thought that was a win, dude. He thought he did something.
Yeah, that's right, Brandon. He said that they bought the restraining order or something. They
What happened?
The restraining order against him and stuff. He says that it's not the way that it happened. Corey tries to say that's not what happened and everything. And it's just, again, it's they just continue to lie, and then it comes out and Jordan say that. Yeah, he was on Comedy Central. He was on what's the fucking dude's name?
Is Steve something?
No. Jim Jeffries. He was on the Jim Jeffries show on Comedy Central, dude, talking about QAnus
with a bunch of other people, and yeah, it wasn't even like it was just him.
With other people, flat earthers and stuff like that, and totally fucking Jim Jeffries and Comedy Central just totally fucking tore the fucking dude apart. Looked like a complete fucking tool, which in my honest opinion he is.
He's a tool.
He's definitely a fucking tool when
tool.
you fucking do the shit that he says
tool.
and everything. I mean, that's a dude that's fucking, people are definitely victims of the things that he say, especially, I mean, because people are listening to what he says and they're like, oh God, I'm in such pain, I need some help. Let me try this fucking miracle bleach fucking solution. Jordan Sather's doing it, I should do it. And now that person's even in more fucking pain. So that's why, I mean, this fucking kid needs to be stopped. He is probably one of the worst ones on the list. At least Corey and fucking David and shit ain't fucking telling people to drink these fucking dangerous...
They're just telling you to ascend. Go to my Ascension. That's ASS Ascension Mystery School, so you guys can resonate with us, so we can get the fuck out of here.
That's bad, but fucking telling people to drink bleach and stuff and saying it's safe and the other fucking, the Gershon fucking therapy. Oh man, that stuff there, dude, is just...
Sorry, folks. We had a blunt malfunction.
Fix that. That's dangerous stuff.
You wanna think Q is a wet dream for you and masturbate to QAnus all night or whatever it is to get your rocks off. Knock yourself out, right? But you start telling kids and people and you went to an autism event.
Q stuff, because the Q stuff is what started the whole Pizzagate, and some guy running into a fucking pizza fucking parlor with his families and stuff eating with a fucking an assault rifle. Now, I don't have nothing against people owning guns and stuff, but you don't go running into fucking pizza places with fucking assault rifles with his family's eating, which you're supposedly there because these people are pedophiles and everything, so you're gonna go scare the shit out of these kids now too with a fucking assault rifle. That all started because of Q. That's all because of that stuff. So there is a little bit with that, because some of these people are like, oh, this shit's fucking real, this guy's a pedophile, let me go fucking string him up with no evidence except for some fucking tweet from Jordan Sather saying that
we know
Q
how that
did
worked
this
out for
shit.
Emmett Till and a whole lot of other black folks who got hung with some basic bullshit. Just saying.
So they go in with this fucking bullshit story, and then people are fucking listening to it, and they're like, oh, yeah, pedophiles. That's why they use that, because that gets people riled up. Oh, pedophiles are no good. These people must be good people, because they're stopping pedophiles. But they have no evidence that these people are really pedophiles. Yeah, the Podesta emails, there's some questionable stuff in there. But it is, like CW said, I think it was said, is he ordering fucking... a child slave fucking coming over, or is he fucking looking for some blow?
Or a hooker.
Or a regular hooker.
What
or
was
is he
her name?
a fucking heroin?
Heidi
or some
Fleiss,
fucking,
the madam?
Some whatever. So who the fuck knows? But there's no actual fucking proof that these fucking people are running pedophile rings and stuff like that they're accused of doing. And people see that and they're like, oh, fuck pedophiles. I mean, fuck, I know if there was a fucking pedophile here and I knew what he did to somebody, it's going to be really... to fucking not beat the fuck out of this sick fucker. Okay? Because they're sick fucking people. They need some fucking help and shit. And some of them, the help ain't gonna do anything, so they should just be fucking beat. As much as I like to, pizza and love and stuff like that. But there's some sick fucking people out there. Okay? That's the bad downside of fucking being human. There's some sick people. Oh, they're demons and fucking... No, they're just some sick and twisted fucking people that don't have... Something's not right up here. And those same fucking people are people that tell other people to drink bleach.
And go shoot up pizza parlors and shit and make up tribunals and bullshit and dragging people out of their homes to hang them and everything and stuff. Because these people all of a sudden represent the worst. Like these random people, and some of them aren't random, but represent the worst ilk in the world. People have been doing shit like this for a long, long time. Ask the Catholic Church right now about pedophilia, what they're going through. It's nothing new. This is all old shit. People have turned a blind eye to this shit forever. Read the Bible. Read history. Do you remember they children and stuff have not really been protected? That's modern day stuff where they started protecting children. Where they started protecting women. Remember when women got rights?
Well, that's because the
Remember when
aliens
minorities
have been here
got
doing
rights
stuff
and
for
stuff?
a long
And how that stuff
time. Them
works?
alien, reptilian aliens, they've been here. They built the pyramids.
Yeah, that's it. Uh-huh.
They've been here raping the kids since the pyramids was
That's
built.
how they made the babies with the women back then. Then they made the hybrid humans. Uh-huh. You don't know. That's where Elvis came from. I was Anunnaki. How can you now found me a nice little there woman? Human woman. Uh-huh. Made some love to her.
William, that's... I know a few pizza places where we used to be able to do that. There was actually a whole entire... there was a pizza place in a little town called Spencer here in Massachusetts.
Shit, Pinky's and Method.
Pinky's in
Method.
But the one in Spencer was partly responsible for the whole entire Spencer police force being fired because there was an investigation going on to what was going into the pizza place. And the cops that were allowing it to happen, and that investigation led on to all the cops were letting shit happen all over the fucking place, and all kinds of shit was going on. So they went in and they fired the whole entire police force. They're like, get the fuck out. State police ran that shit for over a year, and well, they fucking vetted and fucking found new police officers and shit. Now, I guess everything's on the up and up and everything, but that pizza place ain't there anymore. You could get a mushroom pizza with some mushrooms on it.
Can I get a Coca-Cola pizza? Wink,
the cops
wink.
were in on it. It was all, there was a whole big deal on that. But that's enough of that side story there. But, So, the Pizzagate thing,
Oh, the whole, I remember the Q map.
Now, I'm not saying that false flag stuff is not real and it's not happening. But I'm also not saying that when false flags happen, that real people don't die and real people don't get hurt. Okay? My sister's best friend was injured during the Boston bombing. She saw stuff that's not what they say happened. It's hard for her to remember because, again, she got blown the fuck up. But again, why isn't she one of the people that you don't ever hear their names? Why do you hear, there's other questions and stuff. There's other things with the Boston bombing and things. There's things that are there that don't add up. But again, I know somebody who literally was there, and I was here during that whole thing and how that all happened and stuff like that. So, where was I going with this? Because now I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
Well, you're just saying that some of the false flags.
Oh, the false flags and stuff like that. So, are real, aren't real and stuff. But when you're going around saying the stuff that you're saying that nobody died and none of this stuff happened and stuff, you're disrespecting, and it's because people really do die. People really do get hurt. Okay? Some things may not add up with the Boston bombing, but that doesn't mean that nobody got hurt or anything. Again, I know somebody who got hurt. She won't come on this show. She won't do anything like that. She's still... Because, again, she got blown up, but again... It just does. This shit doesn't add up when you think about all this stuff, about what these people say about these things and stuff, and when you really start to look into it and stuff. When the Jordan Sather's going in there saying Sandy Hook's not real, none of this is real, oh, Trump and all, people are going to send to you. People are going to be like, yo, dude.
It's the DMT.
You got to fucking tone it back.
Hey, Jordana Sather. You try some DMT,
everybody.
Jordana.
Everybody's throwing everybody
Do
under
the
the
DMT.
bus.
That's
it's
what
fucking
you need.
Great. I love it.
Do some mushrooms, Jordana.
You
There
know,
you go, guy.
Jordan, Corey, and everybody, they're like, oh, we want true disclosure, blah, blah, blah. Our fucking bullshit stories better than these guys' bullshit stories and stuff like that.
Let's sue each other.
If anybody wants to fucking disclose or anything, why don't you all stop fucking fighting with each other? Get your researches together, figure out which one of the bullshit is the bullshit and the bullshit, and then get down to maybe the little bit of sliver of fucking truth that might be buried underneath both of your bullshit.
All I want is the truth.
Because there is some slivers of truth to some of these things. Not everything is completely fucking fabricated. We do have glass tablets. Actually, this one's mostly plastic, a little glass in the front. Hold on. This one here is all glass front, and I have a case on it, but this is all glass in the back. This is probably the closest thing to Corey Good's glass tablets. Although it's not see-through when it's not on, and I turn it on, and magically stuff appears. And me, because I'm Corey, and I'm just an empath up here and everything to talk to some blue chickens, but I have access to everything in the whole entire system. but I only remember a little bit. I only remember that they had drop ceilings. Drop ceilings. Yeah, I remember drop ceilings, and it was a glass tablet with all the information. But I don't remember any information.
And then there were the blue obvious.
I didn't think to save any of that information or anything, or take any pictures or do anything like that. But Jordan, my little dog here, my little bitch boy, he believes me, right, Jordan?
I love this dude.
That's how they communicate. One's a chicken, one's a dog. Well, no, they're all a bunch of pussies. I give Emery Smith credit for being the first one to step up, show a little anger, show some balls, and it's like, listen, this is what happened. I want to go punch this, knock this fucker. He said he wants to knock Jordan out. So he's showing some passion. He's showing some, I hope it leads to more. I hope there's a point where he's willing to come out and talk some more and put that passion. I don't know how much of it's smoke and mirrors. Again, this could just be the whole 50 Cent thing. Isn't Jordan, he says he's some kind of a spiritual gangster. You know, you're a wankster, first of all.
We should have Disclosure Community Deathmatch, like they had the Celebrity Deathmatch thing on fucking MTV back at the time.
I'm your Huckleberry. You're a daisy if you do. Shit. That's funny, too, because I was looking at the fucking Periscope, and someone made a comment about my fucking leg, because I get down there, there was a different angle of the camera. You can see how fucked up my leg is. Whatever. I'll throw down the death match. We'll do it for charity. I don't want no violence. These dudes don't really want violence. I can believe that Emery wanted to punch dude in the face, so you can see that kind of passion in his eye.
I'm surprised people haven't punched him in the face yet. Again, the dude is telling people to drink bleach.
No one needs to get punched in the face, but they need to fucking grow some balls, come from behind their fucking smoke and mirrors and start talking, and start just talking one way. Stop talking in these little rooms that are all just a vacuum. You're just really talking in a vacuum to a bunch of people. And I love the people who step in like CW's chat rooms, the people on Twitter, because you don't really do Twitter, but and they'll come at you for a few minutes, but most of them just back off. Like they're just there to kind of, someone literally went as far as to argue me. You saw that one on Instagram and called Jordana Sather a fucking leader. What is he a leader in? Like, this kid is no leader to, he's going to lead you to death. He's going to lead you to stupidity. He might lead you to jail or some shit. Like, really, what is he a leader in? Like, if a grown, and the other dude, like, because what did he say? Oh, I don't even know who ParanormalHooD is, and he was some salesman and fucking, I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, you're just some dude who calls some fucking ass clown your fucking leader. That's your leader? If that's what leaders are nowadays,
I know,
good luck.
Your leader? Jordan Sather is your leader?
It's bad enough we got Agent Orange, like, but if you're looking at people like Jordan Sather as your leaders, yeah, good luck.
Whoa, fuck. Yeah. I mean, goddamn. It's fucking...
Yeah, if Jordan Sather is, yeah, there you go. That's your fucking leader. He's going to lead you to stupidity. He's leading you to stupidity. He's the band leader of stupidity. Go drink some bleach. Enjoy that bleach. All those motherfuckers who believe in him, I say you all do the bleach challenge. Do the MMS challenge. That's what you motherfuckers need to do. All get together, make videos. Hey Jordan, this one's for you, bud.
No, we don't want to hurt people. Unlike Jordan, who doesn't give a fuck as long as he's getting his goddamn fucking money for this shit. We don't want to hurt people. Why don't you people start questioning what he says? Why don't you people start doing some actual research on the things that come out of his mouth instead of just believing him? Well, he's got 190,000 followers on YouTube, so he must be telling the truth. I'm going to believe him.
These followers were sponsored by Jordan paying money in the motherfucker.
He looks like a nice guy. He must be telling the truth. I'm not going to research anything he says. I'm just going to believe him. And if anybody talks bad about him, I'm going to defend him because he's our leader. Oh, wait, but he's not in a cult, right? But people are calling him a leader?
Ah!
Whoa!
Sounds like cultist shit to me. He's got a cult of personality.
I'm not in a cult, but these people call me their leader.
I know, Stephen, I said that earlier. He actually went and spoke at an event that had to do with autism. Like, what are you speaking? You're no doctor. You're none of this type of stuff. And you're doing something based on money.
He's there because he's under contract. He literally sells that and tells people how to get that shit. He's contracted for that shit. Steve, I'm 100% with you. He is a fucking piece of shit. He should not be with that. He should not be saying any of that stuff to people. I don't know how. I'm surprised people there weren't punching him in the face, but it wasn't a whole up and up autistic conference from what I've gathered on it. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of snake oil type stuff there, like MMS and everything like that, and these, you know what I mean, holistic type things to heal the autistic people. So, you know, but the MMS one is, of all, probably one of the worst things that you can do.
Yeah, with Billy Carson, he just sells you a bunch of shit, like, you know, try to sell you pendants and EMF deflectors and home detectors and all that type of bullshit and stuff that he just pushes random products now. I just want to know what happened to all the peace and love.
They're not even his
What
products.
happened to Ascension, though? Like, if David Wilcox is the ringleader, right? Isn't the whole thing about Ascension? Like, aren't they supposed to ascend?
He's got a whole school.
When are they leaving? Seriously. I've offered to give, I was going to do like the Ascension ride share, everything. Like, when the fuck are they leaving? Can someone give me a date? Has anyone heard if they're giving a date yet? I know David likes to give dates and times. He hasn't given a date yet when Ascension is supposed to happen.
For Ascension, maybe he did it in Ascension Mystery School. I still got, I'm trying to find somebody who fucking went to Mystery School.
Does anybody know who went to Ascension Mystery School?
I'm
Anyone?
looking. I am searching.
Did any guys take my course? Did you learn anything?
It is really hard, though, because I'm blocked by most of these people, so it's hard for me to see who they follow and who might be going to an Ascension Mystery Schools. So if anybody out there still has access to these people and the people that they talk to and the people that are commenting about Ascension Mystery School posts, because I know David Wilcox posts about his Ascension Mystery School. I think he's got an Ascension Mystery School fucking page on Instagram or something like that. So, which I don't think I'm blocked from that one yet, but somebody out there has got to be, we got to find somebody that went to Ascension Mystery School, and but they can't know that we, you know what I mean? Because we got to get...
They can speak anonymously.
We got to get some information out of them.
We need them
to, you know, kind of talk openly with us. So that's makes it a little bit harder.
Wait, Bohemian Exile, she was supposed to be at Conscious Life Expo? I was at Conscious Life Expo. I was a speaker at Conscious Life Expo. That's right, I had a room too of people. And they sat down, and you can go and look at the video. Jiggy speaking to people, too. I talk to people.
Hold on.
That's right. No one censored me.
Bohemian, you did the Ascension Mystery School
Wait, you took the class?
He just did. The 5-week class, $333 special fucking rate. You did that?
Please tell us about it.
Please. Do you have Skype? Can you call us? You don't have to go on video. Can you call in? Can we talk to you about that?
No, that's dope. I want to know.
We want to know more about it. Can you?
Wait, but it might be like Fight Club.
Because unfortunately, I have to work. I don't make money from my YouTube videos. I don't care about subscribers lost and stuff because I'm losing money and stuff. I actually go to work and stuff, so I couldn't afford $333. I really wanted to see what he had to say in his Ascension Mystery School class. I wanted to know when Ascension was going to happen and how what I need to do to ascend. So can you tell us, please, what? Or
did at least give a date when they're supposed? When
are they ascending? When are they leaving?
Are you leaving us too? Because on Instagram you're leaving us behind, or we go to the prison planet, right? Because we're not going to ascend. Why, are you just going to give up on us? Are you going to still listen to Paranormal Hood in the other dimension if you can, though? On Thursday nights, whenever we go live? Bohemian Exile? When you ascend? You still going to be a fan? Will you still be able to tune us in? Or are we in the bad? We'll still be in the bad universe. We'll still be in 3 dimensions. She'll be getting 7D.
Bohemian, if you got Skype and you want to Skype right now, Skype us right now. It's Paranormal Hood, one word, Paranormal Hood, space, live radio, as together. You know what I mean? Paranormal Hood, live radio. And Skype in, and because we would love to hear about the Ascension Mystery School.
Yeah. Shit, we need some more weed.
I've been looking. I've been trying to find somebody to let me know, fill me in, because I'm really worried about this. I don't want to be left behind.
Me either.
When everybody's ascending.
Me either. Did we lose something?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to make sure that Skype was open.
Oh, gotcha.
If she's going to Skype in.
Wellness Farms caregiver. How high do you need to be to ascend? I don't know. I don't want to be that high. These motherfuckers, I don't even think it's high. They ain't talking about weed. They talking about some other shit.
You know us. We get pretty fucking high, and we still ain't ascending.
Yeah. I mean, we've ascended on some shit, but it ain't the way that these motherfuckers are talking. They keep talking about the D, like they're 7D and 5D. They all want the D and shit. I don't even get what that's about. I ain't with all that Ascension type of shit today. I got no problem with being here. I love being a human being. I love this planet. I'd like to save this planet. I'd like to go to Mars one day, but not before we worry about fucking Earth and everything. I'm not in a hurry. I've died. I've had all these experiences. I'm not in a hurry to worry about some bullshit. That's the problem. These folks are so worried about aliens and aliens are coming back to stay. When? When in history have they done any of this? They just haven't. Jesus hasn't come back. He's still people. How long has it been now? They waiting for Jesus to come back? They waiting a long fucking time. He still doesn't come back. The Anunnaki are still supposed to be coming. Nibiru is supposed to show up any day. Planet X, whatever you want to call it, is supposed to show up and wreak havoc or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Hasn't shown up. Where's the Anunnaki? Where they at? 7? How many billions of people on this planet? How many people on this planet now?
Almost 8, just shy of 8 billion.
Just shy of 8 billion people. And I'm pretty sure that a good percentage of them all have cell phones, digital cameras, everything. Guess what else people have now? There's cameras everywhere on light poles, security cameras on people's homes. Everybody got a Ring doorbell. Everybody got all that fucking bullshit. They catch things streaking across the sky, shooting stars and shit like that, meteors. But guess what they're not catching? Real shit. Aliens. They catch some UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Oh, what's the new word for it? They're something aerial phenomenon now. What is it? UAPs?
Yeah. Unidentified aerial phenomenon. Which again, if you read what they're talking about and what the government is saying, the Navy is saying about their new policy and the stuff that's being reported and what they're looking into and stuff, it's our stuff. These people are worried about and that they're looking into when the pilots are reporting this stuff. They're looking to find out who has this technology, who's using this technology, where did they get it from. Why do they have our technology? If you actually read what they're saying and not just read the fluff on top again. People don't research. People skip past those things. People just want to, they read the headline and like, fuck, it's true now.
It's not. It's not true. Everything's true. It's all right. It's all true.
My favorite thing that these guys love to say, well, it's my truth.
Oh, Tom, string him along DeLong. Fuck that guy. Again, he was a legit, straight-up rock star. Still considered to be a rock star, right? If anybody, one, doesn't need the money or would understand who you could actually talk to, because he is talking to some legitimate people, whatever. But if he was really about disclosure, it would happen. You wouldn't have a fucking show on History Channel, wherever fucking channel it is on, and again, trying to get more monetary gain out of it. Motherfucker, disclose it. I'm pretty sure you could go to Oprah and Oprah
$$million in debt because of his stupid school that didn't go anywhere.
Everybody got a school. Can we start a school? Yeah. Well, wait till you Backyard Con. That's gonna be our school. Backyard Con 1. It's not Backyard Con. It's Backyard Anti-Con. It's the new name for it. Because I know the word con is short for convention, but when you just use the word con, it should tell you a whole lot. The jig is up, the con's going, the long con. That's why they shorted it to that word. The play on words. Let's go to a con, y'all. All right, Comic-Con. That's not really a con. They don't really con you. You know what you're getting. Summer, we're going to I'm going to see some psychics this summer. See if anybody knows the code word. Anybody here a psychic?
She said she's gonna call on. He's gonna call in. He, she was bohemian.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a male or a female, but yeah.
Female.
We might have some cool stories.
I can't tell from the.
Beam me up, Sky, the School of Paranormal Hard Knocks, no doubt.
I apologize. No, I don't mean to offend you, bohemian. I'm just not sure. Anybody know? It's bohemian, female or female? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What they go by. But hopefully we're gonna get to talk to somebody who went to the Ascension Mystery School.
That'd be dope.
It's been trying to find somebody. Like I said, I wanted to do it. But unfortunately, because I'm not in this for money. I'm not doing this for money. I'm in this to find the truth.
Who?
I'm in this to figure out what's really going on. Whether I have 100 subscribers or 150 million subscribers or whatever, and that doesn't matter to me. Like if I had the real deal fucking evidence and stuff. I don't care about the rock star thing and being famous, whatever. I just want to put the truth out there. I'm just going to go and I'm going to put the truth out there. That's it. I'm just going to the truth. I'm not going to sell it to anybody. I'm like, well, which news outlet's going to give me the most money for my truth? That's not the way it's going to happen. I'll probably just come on YouTube and I'll start doing it. Like, yo,
we might really need security.
Here it is.
Though.
This is the real. Well, I mean, people are going to, But I'm just saying is that I wouldn't be selling it. I wouldn't be like, well, I can't do that interview. That's not enough money. And you got to put me in a hotel and fly me there and all this other fucking bullshit that these fucking people want to come to do these events and to talk to these fucking people on TV and everything. They're selling the truth. Truth sells. Who's buying? But it's not the truth.
Alfie will never know. He's always gonna be like, well, my Ascension school, it was a huge success. So I'm gonna do part 2 coming soon because there's still stuff that's coming into me all the time. I'm channeling Raw, and then Corey's giving me information. Pete Peterson's still on the scene. These guys are still around, so there's always gonna be new information because this Ascension process it's a long, drawn out thing. We'll be doing this for years. You're gonna be going to Ascension School Part 100 and shit. That's his MO. String them along. That's what they do. Just keep stringing them along.
All these people, all you got to do is just ask yourself some basic questions about the things that you're saying. Just discern yourself. Use some discernment. Think logically and stuff about what they're saying. And you're going to be like, holy fuck. How the fuck? What the fuck? And you can tell now because now they're calling out each other's shit and stuff. Well, that guy's fucking his UFO story is not real. My UFO story is real. Oh, he's doing this and you can't do that. And no, that's not what it says. This is what it says.
Yeah, I didn't do
nobody can make up their minds.
Aliens. It was 3,000 pieces of aliens, and it could have been a bunch of different pieces from that one alien.
Yo, hold on. I just put Steve Cambion, you out there, but. I just put this together. I know where he got Peterson's money that he just gave him recently. Do the math like Alfie just did. Do the math. Think about it. If he just gave Pete Peterson the money because he didn't have that money because he used that money back in whatever he got it for and stuff. We know that's obvious because he didn't just get that.
Right, then after 2 years.
Now, if you figure he sold even 100, 200 spots at $333, did everybody get that discounted rate too? Think about how much money that he just got from this Ascension Mystery School. I don't know how many spots was open because he said it kept on, they pushed limited spots are open for these things. But think about that. Where all of a sudden, he's got his new veneers and everything. He's in nice new fake fireplace down in his studio. Pete Peterson got his money finally.
Mm-hmm. He got a fake fireplace?
Pete Peterson finally gets his money as David Wilcox Mystery School sells out. I don't know. That's just. I'm not saying this is the facts. This is the real deal. This is just my opinion on the subject right now. But when you start putting pieces of this stuff together and thinking about it, it seems to be the logical explanation of.
Well, I know Steve is still doing
where
further
things
research
are going.
on it too.
I know Steve's still doing. That's why I said Steve. If he's still in there.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
We got him coming in. Hold on. Let me bring him in.
Yeah, take a second to bring him in with us.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
How you doing? This is Jiggy. Smoke King's bringing you up on the screen. You want to do video? You're just doing audio? I don't know if there's video and audio, but whatever. He's working on it right now. But I think everybody can hear him too, though, right? They should be able to hear him.
They should be able
to
hear him.
So you actually went to the Ascension Mystery School?
Well, it's an online
yes,
thing.
Yeah. I decided to join it kind of at the last minute. One sec, sorry.
Yep, no problem. I understand. It kind of caught you off guard, and you're right in the middle, whatever.
Okay. No, let time pass. All right.
I know the thing. My kids have been on air too.
It's Thomas's turn right now. Come on. Sorry. Sorry about that. That was bad timing.
No, that's real. That's real life, man. That's life.
Something for you though.
Hey, that's life, brother.
Now-
It's his brother's turn on the thing, and he's screaming about it. Sorry.
I don't know if you want to, but can you tell us a little bit about what the Ascension Mystery School, kind of maybe just a little brief synopsis of what it's about or what's going on, if it's still going on?
Yeah, so I decided to take his Ascension Mystery School because I've followed David Wilcock's work for many years, going back to being a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I bought all of his other books, and I figured, why not, like, give him a chance.
They said he's low.
Kind of.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand that. That makes sense. But do you feel like you're here with us, and you haven't really objected to a lot of what we said, so I can get it. But objectively, from someone who's followed him and listened to what he's saying, and he was talking about how he's going to introduce some new stuff and everything, do you feel like there's some new things, anything beneficial, is anything helpful come out in his Ascension Mystery Schools?
Well, not really. I mean, he puts together a lot of good information, but like the main problem has basically been the divisiveness in the community, so to speak, with the whole Corey Good drama. I mean, that's kind of overshadowed, at least for me, a lot of the mystery school aspects. I'm going to go back out this way.
So he doesn't address it at all in the mystery school, obviously. He tries to avoid that still.
Well, no, so this is what's weird. All right, these guys, like, respond to stuff in very obscure ways. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but, like, I bet Emery Smith would actually be able to describe it better, and David Widener and these other people too. But they definitely respond to us, like, obtusely, kind of without directly addressing people in the community.
Yeah.
But they'll try to talk about the subject.
Right.
And then spin it in the direction that they're interested in.
Right, because they're in a bubble. They've created that bubble, so now you basically are hoping that whoever's paid the money to be there is within that bubble, and that they're just looking for your side of the story. And they duck and dive. That's pretty much what they do. They're passive aggressive. Most of them, obviously, we talked about Emery Smith. He's the first one that's come out in a more aggressive nature, someone who's on the inside and part of that whole little team, like the little A team or whatever. So. I can get that too, where they don't really that's the whole thing. Even with Jordan, all of them, they play the block game on Twitter. Once the game is too much for them to deal with, they just play block, but then they spend always talking about you. They don't realize that the people that they mention you're still seeing the stuff that they're talking about. You just don't see it directly, but they're not hiding anything, so it's still a cowardice. But to have the school,
there's one like the new video that Corey and David made, where they like got back together and David announced that he's going to go to Dimensions.
Yeah.
It was funny because Corey says, like maybe someone's ego, like the critics, their ego has been triggered, and they don't want to lose access to a particular insider. That sounds exactly like David.
Yeah.
David's the one whose ego is like totally seems all over the place for years, honestly, with like kind of how he acts at some of these gatherings, and like he doesn't want to lose access to Corey. So I mean, a lot of the stuff Corey said though is legit, and a lot of David's stuff too. There's a lot there. Like the Graham Hancock. That's a weird thing. Am I getting echo?
Yeah, because you're kind of going in and out now. Wherever you're moving, you might be losing your signal a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, like the Graham Hancock disparate. Sorry, am I getting?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Echo.
We don't.
Well, yeah, the Graham Hancock issue is a problem because, like Jay pointed out, David seems to be very like ignorant of certain Gnostic information that he presents himself as being very knowledgeable about, and there's no reason for him to accuse Graham Hancock.
On the camera, right?
Oh no, it's okay.
Just making sure because I just put you up. So.
But let me ask you a question, even because that's my problem with like Jay though. Like Jay also seems to be somebody who. I think that they always try to create one person as a mastermind where I feel like they were a team of people, but because he knows how to create content, he knows how people kind of need to act and look and speak and stuff on camera, that he directed a lot of what they are and just that their backgrounds and stuff, like he helped them, like he created them. And now he kind of stands and judges everybody, but I think he's just as culpable. I'm sure he's still getting a check from Guy and stuff. He talks about he retired and everything. But Jay is very one-sided too, and his whole conversation is about these two people. Two people that he himself admits he created. He guided them. They are what they are because of him.
And I mean, but it is like a thing where they're trying to produce content for people. I mean, Gaia was a cool company because they were really small, and they started going into video content in that like hippie alternative genre with yoga. And anyways, they were a really low cap stock, and like there was a time where like last year, I went to Contact in the Desert.
I was there too.
And okay.
We may have ran into each other. Who knows?
You were there. You guys were there too.
I was there. Yeah, I was actually hanging out with Billy Carson.
Yeah, I was there. Like I had a dog.
You had a
Okay, I had a dog. Like there's a big white dog with my wife's in a wheelchair. We had a booth. I don't know.
I probably talked. I think I probably talked to you. Knowing me, I probably did. Especially if you had a dog, because I love dogs.
She's easier to remember than me sometimes. But anyways, what was the point there?
Well, no, we were just saying.
The Gaia had a booth at the Contact in the Desert event, and I talked with someone there, and like they weren't supposed to say this, but they were promoting their stock, and I had actually purchased some earlier, so I had bought Gaia stock. And then I was looking at it, and it's like less than $10, right? And if
break it up again a little bit.
I mean, $1 a share. I make good money off it, you know. And they were growing in subscribers. Everything was looking good. This drama happens. They lost so much money. That stock dropped way back down. And yeah, like so, I don't really see Gaia as being a negative. I mean, there's lots of companies out there. You can argue corporatism or something, if socialism, any kind of system. I don't know. It seemed to me like Gaia definitely lost out big time because of this drama.
Well, can I be honest with you? I have no problem with Gaia. My thing with Gaia, it's just like when I watch Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. It's entertaining to me. That there's some truth to it. Like you said, they start out with yoga. There's some good things, peace and light, consciousness and everything. But then there's the woo-woo that we always talk about. There's a lot of woo-woo, and the woo-woo sells. So yes, they were doing well with the entertainment aspect of it. They had people like Jay Widener who knew how to push that stuff to make it presentable, to make it entertaining. But that's where I kind of draw the line, is that I expected entertainment from Gaia. I wasn't expecting them to give me 100% truth.
They put it out as, oh, this is the truth, this is the deal, we got the evidence, we got this and we got that, when it's just like Ancient Aliens. It's just an entertaining show. There's not a lot, there's again 30% truth and 70% of it is mostly made up stuff. I mean, almost everything on Gaia, those types of shows that have to do with this type of subject, I mean, obviously yoga videos aren't being debunked and stuff like that, but anything to do with the alien stuff, it's because they're using the same stuff as Ancient Aliens use, and it's all been debunked and stuff. So
we have a cool question from Alfie Simons. He wanted me to ask you if you could talk a little bit more about what is the overall teaching of the Ascension School. Like, what is the
Yeah. Okay. So the main thing that I think is relevant to the time period we're in now, and like when you talk.
I think he blocked
for his factual information perspective. It's very hard to divorce perspective from reality, you know, epistemology, things like that. So we're all kind of brought back to our perspective. So there's only so much information and time we can really learn, like time we can spend to learn information. So what's relevant to now with David Wilcock's Mystery School is basically the America story. And this goes back to the 1776 founding of America, the prophecy David Wilcock kind of talks about with the there's a picture of one of the domes in the Capitol with certain elements in it, and he relates this to the prophecy. He did it before with 2012, right?
We know how that
it's
worked
like anything. Yeah, and then see Corey says, "Oh no, well they delayed 2012 with some kind of like sphere barrier." Like, okay, but yeah.
Yep.
But anyways, there is some definite intrigue and interest with this American tradition slash story, like prophecy, Freemasonry, different secret societies, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, have definitely built in a lot of information, and it's weird. I mean, like the time travel stuff. Like Trump, you have Trump in a video, Back to the Future, and he goes forward, and it's the year 2015. I mean, how weird is that?
I'm just saying, if that dude's a time travel, we're fucked. That's all I'm saying. We're fucked.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff like that where you can make out. People think it's Trump is definitely not a time traveler. He has no clue. He's not I mean, that's what I mean with this. So did he say when is Ascension supposed to happen?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, no, they're pretty much always changing their date. I don't take I don't really follow dates that much. I think they said, I mean 2020 is supposed to be a big year because 2020 is hindsight, you know.
2020 is the beginning of an election year, pretty much. That's why. That's why it's such that's why it's such a big year. Whatever gets spun, whatever happens election-wise and stuff, is whatever narrative will carry over from that. It's that easy.
And yeah, you have a real situation where like it's like time travel. That to me is the biggest thing to talk about with the conspiracy, because if you look at satellite data, we have to set the clocks on satellites back all the time so that they stay in the right orbit.
Well, that's but
so it's literally, think about this. Satellites are time traveling every day.
You're time traveling right now.
We're all time traveling. The reason
Welcome to the future.
Welcome
to the future.
Is because of where the satellites are in the relationship to the Earth and stuff, the geosynchronistic orbit and stuff. So that's where like David and they like to throw out things like that. They cherry pick little bits of information like that most people aren't gonna completely understand that, and they're like, oh, that's proof of time travel right there. In a sense, we're all time traveling because it's no longer the moment it was before and stuff like that. But stuff in space, compared to what is on Earth, it's just like the astronauts. They're time traveling. They're in a different time than they are. It's off by a few seconds and stuff. But time is also a measurement that we've created just to get through the day and everything, and in our life and stuff like that.
We can't hear him for some reason.
To me, it's like slightly intriguing. So if you look at Corey Good as potentially like someone, we don't know exactly where he's coming from with his motivations or intentions. But he is sharing information. Like, why is he spending the time to trademark the 20 and back?
Because people are using it. It's money. It's all about financial.
But out of all the things, I mean, there's money in a lot of different areas, man.
That's the thing.
I mean, there's money out there. Like, 20 and back?
Since before, everybody tries to trademark everything these days.
Tom Brady's trying to trademark Tom Terrific, which has been around since Tom Seaver right now. He's catching flack for that. It's not uncommon for people in a certain area, especially these folks at their little rise or whatever. They want to be able to control their narrative. They want to be able to keep that stuff and keep the money coming to them.
Everybody else is fake and he is real. They're not putting out the real stuff. He's just trying to control.
But I mean, like, but think about it. So, like, if he really wanted to be believable, why would he do the 20 and back program? I mean, look at Emery Smith. Emery Smith was in the Air Force. You don't gotta like make up too much shit. Like, he's been in bases. He know what. But like, why is this guy taking his time to do a time travel thing? I don't know. It's interesting.
He has to make this. It's you're taking.
If you look at, but have you ever looked into Corey Good and his whole story besides what he puts out onto the internet and he wants people to see? If you look into his background and his whole history, before he came out on this, he was really heavy into Project Avalon, eating up every single little UFO conspiracy theory thing that he could, and then he weaved together this fantastical story and met David Wilcox, and of course he bought it up because he believes everybody and everything, doesn't question anything, and didn't question Corey Good, And now he's just out there. So, like I said, if he did 20 and back, he says he's done 320 and backs, but he's broke. Do you know what type of a military pension you would get from 320 and backs? Do you know what the military pension would be for one 20-year time in the military? I mean, none of it adds up. The details that he gives of coming back from being in space on spaceships and stuff, he's like, yeah, they had drop ceilings. And I had a glass tablet with all the information that you could ever want in my hand, but he doesn't remember any of the information. It's just all spotty details and stuff like that. Do you know what would happen if you woke up one day and you got 20 years worth of memories back? Do you know what you would be in the fucking mental hospital. Your brain would overload. You wouldn't know what to do with the information. You'd be like, where the fuck did this come from? What the fuck is going on? The dude would freak the fuck out. The stories don't add up. That's a nice dog.
I know, but not even just that. Like, so his thing is like he catches a cold or he scratches his hand or whatever. Oh, they're trying to take me out and stuff. Dude, if these folks want to take you out, they believe in this secret cabal who can do all this crazy stuff, but they can't take these guys out who speak at public events.
These guys are talking all these big secret mysteries and supposedly disclosing all these secrets.
Yeah, that's definitely. So if you look at Dave, it's definitely not believable that David, in his long-term career, would constantly be facing this like threat. It's like, yeah.
Exactly. Same thing with Corey Good. Everything that Corey Good says is way, way worse than anything that Edward Snowden and Chelsea Manning and these other whistleblowers and people have done. These guys would be done for. They wouldn't even get arrested. They would have taken them out. They'd be like, these guys got to go now if any of this stuff was true at all. Obviously, the stuff that Snowden and everything put out, that's some real stuff. That's some real information, okay? That's some real stuff that they put out there. And they got in trouble for it.
Snowden's kind of weird too,
Yeah,
and I mean,
Snowden thing is a little weird. We were talking about earlier. The same thing that is a little weird with the Chelsea Manning thing goes in. There's a guy, and there's a little weirdness with all this stuff. But again, those people, they put out information. That information is actual verifiable information. The stuff that they put out and that they stole and everything like that. It's all backed up. You can verify like almost everything that they've said, and you can't verify anything that Corey Good says. It's only his word. He has no evidence, no proof of anything. And if he was really telling the truth, the government would have taken him out.
I'll give you proof right now. Like, Google it. The giant blue cock of America. I swear to God, dude. I'm not making. I wish I was kidding. Google it. The giant royal blue cock of America. There's a 14-foot tall statue of a blue chicken in Washington, D.C.
That's not proof of anything.
You ever been to D.C. though? Because I've been to D.C.
It's proof of connection to something. You think that didn't cost money? I mean, this is like a big thing that people are investing in.
No, okay, it's just like the Denver airport. People are like, oh, it's got gargoyles, so it's satanic. No, because you don't know what a gargoyle is. Gargoyles are for protection. They're nothing evil. Everything with all the things with the Denver airport, it's all people just pick things like that. They're like, it's a blue chicken in Washington D.C., so that means that the blue avians are real. No.
But I thought they only contacted Corey Good anyways, though.
If that's your proof that Corey Good is telling the truth, that there's a blue chicken.
It's not. I'm not saying he's telling the truth. I'm saying that they drop in various bits of information along with potentially bad information. But if you follow the scene, you know that.
Well, that's what they do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they put in. Okay, that's what they do. They toss up a whole bunch. They pick out some information. They're like, okay, so they're going to talk about the pyramids in Egypt. So okay, that part's factual. The pyramids are in Egypt. The pyramids are aligned to the stars. But when they start to say, "Oh, there's aliens in it,"
and so.
But I'm just using that as an example. Is that's what they do? That's the truth part. That the pyramids are in Egypt. There's they're aligned to the stars, and then they go into the woo-woo. Oh, there's aliens and all this stuff. Now, because there's a giant blue chicken in Washington, blue chicken statue in Washington D.C., that means Corey Good must be telling the truth. That's some truth to his story, because he picked that out. Because that statue was probably there before Corey Good came up with this. That's how we knew about it.
He took a fucking tour
If you
in
look
DC.
at all the stuff that they put out, they find little things in science magazines, little obscure things that aren't that popular, and then they're like, oh, this is going to be something big pretty soon, or they think it is, so they start talking about it. And then when it actually starts to become big in the news, they're like, see, I knew I was right, because I've done this. I've gone and checked it on certain technologies, like Emery Smith is talking about, like some water thing. I'm like, Google, oh, they talked about that 15 years ago, but it wasn't big in the news or anything. There was like 2 articles back then. And now everybody's talking about it because the funding and everything is happening, so they just pick things. It's the same thing with Q. Q picks things that are in the news, that are a hot topic, and he makes a little post about it, and he's like, oh, I'm right. That's not evidence of anything.
Hi, Jordana Sather.
And the blue chicken doesn't even...
There are some interesting things, like Q. The biggest thing propping up Q at this point, 100%, is the time travel thing. Because their whole mantra has become future-proof past. And that's what they do. When anything happens, they go to the Q clock in the Q map. And they're like, wow, Q knew this was going to happen a year ago. So it's weird, man, because like it keeps coming back.
I looked at it, and it's just they're not. It's just it's cherry picked information, and it has just pieces and stuff that are similar to it. It's the same thing that psychics do. They pick little pieces and bits of information, and they weave it together in a story, and you're like, oh fuck, how the fuck did you know that? Wow, they just got that from asking a few questions from you and stuff. They just got to know a few little things that are happening in politics and stuff that might be brought up again, might be talked again or something like that. And let me put this into these posts and stuff like that. Q's been, again, is another one that's, I don't even know how Q is still relevant, except because people like David Wilcox and Corey Good and Jordan Sather still like to keep talking about these things.
And there's the occasional idiot that show up at some rally somewhere with a Q sign and all that blah, 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 whatever.
All right, so I'm looking at this blue chicken. This isn't a blue chicken, by the way. It's a blue rooster. And it looks nothing like a blue avian. Yeah. Nothing at all. So if this is proof of Corey Good's story being having some bit of truth to it, then I don't know. I mean, when people post up pictures of like the Egyptians in their colored blue, I mean that's a little bit more believable than this is legit. It's not even it's an actual rooster and it's just painted blue. It's not even a rooster person. I'm again, it's highly questionable. It's not. I don't see anything there. That's not proof of anything. That's just an artist's interpretation from what I'm reading in the stories and stuff. It's just an artist's thing. It's outside of an art. This is part of an art display. It's not even like, I mean, if it was on the White House lawn, I could be like, well, that's a little odd. What the fuck is Trump putting up a big blue chicken for on the White House lawn? But it's not even a blue chicken. It's a blue rooster. So again, they just cherry pick and they pick a little thing. They're like, oh, blue, that looks like a chicken. That's proof. Corey Good is right. QAnon, everybody, we're all right. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see why that's just... I
mean, like, I'm not coming in this to say that I think Corey Good or David or Jordan are right.
I'm just asking because you...
But I'm just sharing aspects of information that I think are relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pointing that out for a very specific reason. I mean, if you read between lines, I'm not trying to disagree with you, but like you have to look at it a little deeper. Look at the artist who made it. Look at the symbolism it represents. You know, it's a mystery school thing. Why is it a mystery school? Because it's secret society stuff.
Yeah.
So like they're signaling. It's
a mystery because David Wilcox is trying to spin a tale here and everything like that. When you look into actual real occult and alchemy, David Wilcox is nowhere on the list of knowing anything from his ass from his elbow.
But no, this is real power here. You're talking real power. I mean, this is a giant, expensive thing on top of an art museum in Washington, D.C. I mean, this is like
it's the average person is going to do that. Stuff like that. But to say that this is evidence that Corey Good is right, that they put this statue there for some thing saying that because Corey Good, in which the blue avians are supposedly gone now because everybody turned it into a religion. And all this stuff, when the story just changes left and right and everything.
Yeah.
And
well, it's complicated. So, okay.
To do with it, you're going to have to explain it a little more because I'm reading the story and stuff. I got to look into. I mean, it's kind of hard to do because we're doing the radio show and stuff. But it's a blue rooster. It's not even a chicken.
Okay, so I'll try to explain it as simply as possible. It all basically goes back to Egypt, and the blue avian thing, is represented in hieroglyphs in Egypt. It's part of that whole story. So there's Mott with the blue headdress. There's Ra with the red disc. And there's other players. The mythology gets repeated in different forms and different languages. We kind of follow this story. People say Jesus mythology is all based off of like Horus and Osiris. So
but if you
it all goes back to Egypt.
But if you really dig into that, that's why I'm saying David Wilcox doesn't know anything, because if you really go back, Egypt ripped it off from the pagans and the heathens from before that. It goes way back to the time of the hunter-gatherers and stuff, and people have been looking at the stars for a long time. And David Wilcox is not an authority on Egyptian culture or anything like that. That's why I'm saying when you actually look into the stories and the things that he says, instead of just being like, oh, wow, it sounds good. It sounds mysterious. It sounds like he's telling something that nobody knows and it's a secret and everything. But when you actually go and you look into this stuff and you understand why the Egyptians used the colors that they did and what they did with all this stuff, it has nothing to do with Corey Goode and David Wilcox, Mystery Schools of Ascension and everything like that. They just pick and choose these stories that have been woven and tossed around since Helena Blavatsky and those people in the early 1900s. When you really look into these stories, that's all that these things are. It's rehashed tales of fucking Cthulhu and all this stuff. That's all.
I got an interesting angle on it here. So this is what's funny, right? David Wilcox says that he's Ra.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. And Billy Carson is Thoth.
Yeah, CW calls him Tooth.
But what happened? What happened to David Wilcox being the reincarnation of Edgar Casey, and now he's Ra? Because the Laura 1 material, because that's a whole bunch of fucking bullshit right there. It's got some it's got some good stuff in it. It's got some stuff that's kind of like, okay, that's some advice I could live by and stuff like that. But being a channeled message and everything like that, that whole thing and all the stuff, the duality of it, it's all stuff that's. It's part of this whole new age consciousness awakened thing that came about, if you look into it, from Helena Blavatsky 100 and something years ago now.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Get this, like this wasn't in the Ascension school, but it was in the Grand Download in Colorado. I drove out there for that. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So.
Well, as long as you're having fun and having a good time and stuff like that, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that and everything like that. But if you really start, do you really look into what he's actually saying though? Do you look up this stuff?
Oh yeah. But listen, wait. This is funny though. David goes, yeah, and so I'm actually like Ra in a past life, and I was this high priest of Egypt, but we had too many like concubines, and so I got punished through karma. But he's like, but that means I'm your daddy. Guess what? I'm your daddy.
And you still fought, and you still, you know what I mean? Like,
hey.
I'm just trying.
Some insight on
I was cracking up. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to get.
I'm your daddy, and he believes it.
Okay, so as long as you're not
like
buying
he
100%
literally
into everything,
he's your daddy, dude.
Now, do you guys get to ask him questions? What does he say? Do you question him about this stuff? So tell us more about what happened in the. How long was each class and everything? Because I know what it was at 5 classes. How long was each class and?
Oh, it was horrible. Like I felt bad for him because he promised a mystery school, and basically it was him talking for 5 hours.
Wow.
Like he literally, it was the same YouTube video he made before. But for 5 hours of him talking.
Wow.
And most of him talking about himself, to be honest.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what David Wilcox loves to do. He loves to talk about himself and how the world is out to get him. So it was 5 classes.
There's some good stuff in there. Like I'm not trying to be too mean to him. I actually like David's stuff. I've listened to him for years, but yeah, it's kind of gotten to a weird point.
I find him entertaining. I mean, I'm not saying it's not entertaining or anything like that. I find it's very entertaining and stuff. I listen to it. Some of it I'm like, just, oh God, here we go again. But you know, for the most part, it's pretty entertaining and stuff. But when I first started hearing him, I don't know how many years ago now, and I started looking into it, I'm like, oh Jesus, this is guy here. And then he comes out with Corey Good, and I'm like, and his story changes every couple of years because he gets found out that he's bullshit. So, I mean, but it's good that, you know.
And so, like, I wanted to share with you guys like a mystical experience I had, or like a paranormal experience, if you want to call it that, in the theme of your show.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're open to it, so do you guys remember the Covington kids like scandal? It was a political scandal.
Not really.
It was basically a bunch of kids with Trump hats, like MAGA hats.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yep.
In DC. Yep. Okay, so like this is like, I get weird stuff that happens sometimes. This is kind of an example of it. I went to the King Tut exhibit in LA to see the Egyptian artifacts.
Nice.
Like a week before that happened. And then the next day I went to a church, the Saint Sophia Church, which is like Greek Orthodox. Right? So I went from Egypt to the Greek Orthodox. And then I was driving around, right? And I just heard some people screaming apocalypse or something out the window. So I stopped and I checked it out, and it was the Black Hebrew Israelites. Have you guys seen those guys?
Yeah, I know, yeah, they used to be around here. Well, I grew up in Boston, yeah.
Yep, we know who they are.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I had never seen them before, so I was interested. I like stopped. I went over and like looked at what they were doing. It was really interesting because I had never heard it before, so I looked up some of it. I don't know. It's intriguing to say the least, but this is what's funny. Like right a week later, right after that, I'd never heard of them before. All of a sudden, there's this Covington thing, and it's like the MAGA hats, the Black Hebrew Israelites, and the Native American guy with the drums. So it was like a weird synchronicity. I don't know. Mystical experience, but kind of interesting. But anyways, the point is, so David Wilcock, it's a question of racism, right? Yep. So David Wilcock is saying that he's raw, right? And what does he start to promote? He's promoting that blonde-haired, blue-eyed people were the pharaohs in Egypt, right?
Yep.
And so I thought it was interesting because, you know, it's like these guys are saying, hey, no, like those are black people. And I'm like, huh, you know, that's you know, it's an intriguing thought. So I definitely think that like the question of racism in history and Egyptology as well is something to be explored. I'd definitely say there's institutional bias by you know the institutions.
Dude, just go. I mean, I put it out there. Go look at Jay Wyden's little speech on a radio show about his beliefs about Native Americans and black people with lower IQs, and he goes further. He's very political.
Well, see, here's the thing, though, with that and what David Wilcox and stuff is saying. We actually have Egyptians from back then in their skulls and their bodies and everything like that, and the evidence to show that, no, they weren't blonde-haired, blue-eyed people like David Wilcox likes to claim, because that's what he is. So that's where the things go wrong. Now, we do have the Nazca mummies with the elongated skulls, which have red hair, and it's braided. But that's a big thing to Corey Good. It's braided. That's a big tip that he got from the briefing. I mean, out of all the information that he could have gotten about some alien beings, they had braided red hair. Okay, it's braided. So that's where it comes into, like, okay, David Wilcox, well, we know that the Egyptians, all the Egyptians from this time dated, we can tell, we know that when we find human DNA, we know that when we carbon date, we date it and everything, that it's accurate. And we know that we can tell that these people were this colored skin and they had this color hair and everything like that. So for him to say this stuff, again, that's where it comes in. It's racist. The same thing with the whole Q and Trump and building a wall and all that stuff is good for everybody, and Ascension and peace and love and coming together. Yeah, let's build a wall and all just come together. Everybody in America come together. What about the rest of the world that we're supposed to be saving and protect? And here, the blue avians are here to protect the world. Well, Trump just wants to save America. Trump just wants to save white people. So what's the deal, DW? What's the deal, Jordan Sathers? Well, you want everybody trust Q, trust Trump. Why should we trust these racist fucking assholes?
And only some people get to ascend too.
And only some people get to ascend.
Well, to be fair with you guys, I am a Trump supporter. So, but the thing is, to also be fair, I voted for Obama and Trump, and I'm a millennial. So, I don't know. Go figure that out. I don't like Hillary Clinton.
I don't vote for puppets. So
they're all puppets.
Yeah.
So
but see,
political and stuff. But that's what I mean. Is it's how can you preach peace and love and light and coming together and ascension when Trump is not the furthest thing from that? If being a Trump supporter, do you think Trump is somebody who would ascend according to Ascension and what Ascension is and being the good and the bad and doing all this and what you got to do to go to the fifth dimension and higher?
Oh yeah, like that's the thing. Everything is coming together as some kind of weird prophecy that comes from these secret societies. And I'm not saying that they're right. I don't know. I have no idea. But they definitely believe it. They've definitely set up events in a very structured way over many periods of time to maintain a certain type of information that has led kind of to a culmination now. It's kind of all happening. I mean, just with the global distribution of a network like the internet. So yeah, like, I mean, the thing about Trump, it's a deep subject. It'd be hard to go into. Like, you want to go there? I could go.
I'm just saying. I mean,
like, here's the thing. Okay, I'll prove to you. The Mexican, right? They said Trump is racist because he said Mexicans are rapists, and you had all these nude headlines. It said Trump said all Mexicans are rapists.
Can I explain something about Trump, though?
Wait. Look it up.
Okay, but I know I get what you're saying, but let me just explain because I don't want to be political though. I don't want to spend the time being political. But I'm going to explain something to you real quick about this though. You're a millennial, but I'm 49 years old. I didn't start disliking Trump because he ran for president. I didn't start disliking Trump because he's president. I never liked Donald Trump. He has never, in his time on this planet, anything I've ever seen, shown himself to be a redeemable person or anybody about good, peace, and light or love. Period. Ever.
Yeah, and like, I know there are people who, see, I didn't know anything about him really till he ran, so it's a bad example. There are people who were predetermined to not win based off
Hitler kiss babies too.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't know. One thing, the rapist comment, I have to point, is it's the worst. It's so annoying. If you look at what he said in his speech, he says they are sending their drug dealers, their criminals, their rapists. Right? It's, how do you spell it? THEIR.
Yep.
Hello. He didn't say they are rapists. He never said that. He said they are sending.
I understand that part right there, but he doesn't care about anybody else except for himself and the white people.
He said they're sending their rapists. He said they're sending not even Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? And then the media goes, Mexicans are rapists. It's like, what? It's like he's basically saying, hey, this country's like, oh, we got people we don't want to deal with. Send them to America. You know, that's like, it wasn't really.
Saying is people want to talk about the United States and we're slaves and stuff. All it's doing, building a wall, is fencing us in, building that prison that people
Once
are
you
so
stop
fucking
building one
scared
wall,
about.
you're gonna keep building walls.
Keep building walls because they're just gonna keep on building walls. And what happened? What happened in Germany when they built walls and stuff like that? Walls don't do anything.
But see, this is the thing. The media misrepresented it. President Trump said from the beginning. From the beginning, he said we're gonna have a wall.
It's not the media.
I don't listen. I don't
watch the media.
It's a beautiful day.
I don't want to have a talk about this is political.
You go to the airport. You go through security. I mean, it's like, dude, that's the modern world, man. Like, you gotta have a gate. There's like millions of people that travel back and forth on the border every day. It's like a freeway. Nobody's building a wall, man. It's a freeway. You know, the walls for the section so that the people go on the freeway and they pay their stamp. They get their.
All right, let me know how that works out.
I know.
Anyway,
Who
moving back to
cares?
Ascension Mystery School. We don't want to talk about Agent Orange anymore. So
I know it's tough. It's like it's part of it though, because you have Tom Hanks, and this is a weird quote. You can try to find it. It's kind of gone now. Tom Hanks was in the Mystery with Isaac Cappy and different things like that. So Tom Hanks has a quote that says, "Donald Trump will never be president. Donald Trump will be president when aliens land."
Yeah.
And this was a headline.
And you know who else talked about? Reagan said the same thing about aliens.
I know.
And so
because that's all right.
Right, Podesta with the To the Stars
All
account.
right.
He's saying that
we're getting way off topic here, man. Like way away from the top.
Again, this is all. It's not.
Yeah. All right. Just a quick question on that. Yeah. Sorry.
So each class was only an hour long, and it was 5 classes. In each class, he only talked about basically himself and nothing really. Mystery school.
There was nothing new.
Nothing new about Ascension. No date for Ascension. He didn't tell you how you have to ascend.
Well, I mean, basically, he is really caught up in his belief system, which has to do with like all of his prophecies and dreams all coming true. So he talks about that a huge percentage of the time, you know. And in between, you get little chunks of interesting stuff.
Did you ask for your money back?
I mean, the Flash, and then the CIA released the Adam and Eve story. People say the pole shift, new ice age,
mud flood, flat Earth. So he just
climate change. You got the mainstream liberal establishment, climate change. The world's gonna end in 12 years if we don't do something. So that's a popular theme, anyways.
So he just basically said the same shit he's been saying forever. Nothing new.
All stuff that he could have saw on one of his YouTube videos or on.
Are you going to disclosure whatever his event is?
I mean, basically they want me to go. You know how it is. Like I'm supposed to go to like fulfill whatever role. I don't know. We're thinking about it. Maybe not. I mean, there's a lot of like controversy, so it's kind of sketchy, to be honest. But
well, I mean, yeah, they're doing some shady and nefarious things to people. So I mean, if I was, I mean, I'd separate myself at this point if it got to that. I could see a lot of other people are separating. I've separated myself from a long time ago. But I mean, you even sound really skeptical about the stuff and everything yourself. Did you ask for your money back, or you just want to stay on good terms with David Wilcock? No, I mean you didn't learn anything.
I mean, no, it's like to me, I've always kind of experienced very similar types of information that David presents prior to interacting with him. So, like, I mean, it's like the amplituhedron. That's something that he was really excited about. And I really love it too. It is great information. Everyone should take it seriously. Even if you don't like David and Corey. Okay. Yeah, the amplituhedron's legit. In like the holographic universe, fractal geometry, quantum computing, all the stuff we're learning with.
Again, see, all she's doing is taking what's in the news. All he's doing is taking what's in the news and what people are talking about, and he's just putting his own little spin on it. That's it. This is all stuff people have been talking about quantum computing and holographic universes for longer than David Wilcock's been around since the 90s. It's just more popular because we understand it more now. One person who doesn't understand quantum anything is David Wilcock. He just likes to use the word quantum.
Yeah, I know.
I've never heard
that's
him use the
honestly
word quantum in the correct way at all. Him, Corey Good, Jordan Sather, not even Mr. Billy Carson over there. Who was supposed to be a quantum physicist or something like that.
Well, because the aliens touched him and gave him all the information.
They just toss around. It's again, they throw out word salad. Quantum, that's a big buzzword. Everybody's talking quantum this, quantum that. So we'll just use quantum because that makes us sound legit.
So I've been studying this for a long time. I took a computer course when I was like 18 or something, UC Berkeley, and there's a particular professor, Brigitte Whaley, who's done some fascinating research with lasers and cells. So you take a bacterial cell, you shine lasers through it, and then you can observe the changes in real time, right?
Yeah.
And so the thing is, what we observe is that biological systems are having quantum effects in real time in a very noisy environment of life, in a relatively warm environment. So it's interesting because when you look at like D-Wave is very cold. So do you guys realize the quantum computers that we build here on Earth are colder than outer space?
Yeah. I know about quantum computing and stuff like that. I know about quantum. That's why I know when I know that David Wilcox is just using it as a buzzword and stuff and things like that because it's popular and everything. He's like, oh, I can use this. I can fit this into my story to make it sound like it's legitimate because people are talking about this stuff. That's all he.
So the criticism. Yeah, the criticism from this camp. I mean, I'm trying to communicate to you guys here from the camp of believers, so to speak. So I'm telling you why people like Jordan and why people like David and why people like Corey. And other people too, but it's because of the information. So you might like not spend a lot of time carrying that it's Corey or David telling it to you. You might just catch a show here and there. But oh, that one show or thing that you saw was something relevant to you in your perspective, and then you go out and you find it somewhere else too, and then you learn that that's.
No, see, what usually happens is, what usually happens, yeah, I find the actual source, or I see the actual source, I read about the actual source, because I'm into quantum things, and I have quantum physics books all over this room down here and stuff in the Garden of Knowledge studio, and I actually study these things, and then I hear Corey and David talking about it in their videos, because I watch their videos and everything, because they're entertaining, and then I'm like, wow, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. He just read an article on Science Live or something, and he's just trying to throw this in here like it's got something to do with Ascension and blue chickens. And it's like, that's what I mean. He cherry picks and he throws it into a word salad. Because again, there's valid theories and points behind the holographic universe and stuff, but not the way that David Wilcox and Corey Good and everything that they're talking about is. If you actually read the studies and the stuff like that, it has nothing to do with anything that David Wilcox is talking about. He doesn't understand what he's even talking about. He doesn't understand the studies at all. And if I ever had him in front of me to question him, he would fall apart. That's why he doesn't let people question him. Did you guys get to ask questions and stuff in the Ascension Mystery School?
You can, if you want to ask questions, you can ask me questions because I do have some experience in quantum computing.
Oh no, that's why I'm saying like I do know. Like I don't know.
But did you get to ask him questions?
That's right. Did you get to ask him questions and
so,
stuff?
See, that's what he's always been. I agree with you guys. As far as criticism of that, those guys, they always play the same game. They just like never listen to critics or really talk. Yeah, I mean, I like Jordan, and like, I don't know. It's weird that he's been pushing Bleach thing. I don't know.
It's not weird because the Bleach company's paying him money because he believes that stuff.
Yeah, the likelihood of him coming on a show to like face the criticism, as you guys point out, is very low.
Yeah, he's not going to do it. He doesn't want to do it. He's pointed out that he's already met me. We've had a conversation.
Like a tiny. Yeah. So that sucks, and like that's why kind of I like CW and other people in the scene who are more into this kind of like outreach thing where people have communicate on specific questions that are problems in the community, so to speak.
Yeah. No. Okay. So there's some truth to some of this stuff, like some of the holographic universe. sacred geometry and stuff like that. Some of that stuff, again, that's what I mean. He takes bits and pieces of stuff. He takes 30% of true stuff, and he takes 70% of bullshit and piles it on top and spins it into a wild, fantastical story. There's some of this stuff, some of this ancient mystery school, some of the alchemy teachings and the esoteric teachings and stuff. Some of that stuff is some truth to it. Some of it, there's some factual stuff behind it. But the way that he presents it and what he says it and stuff is just, again, he presents it one way this year, and then next year it's like, well, hold on, didn't you say something else last year and the year before, and now you're this person and now you're that person, and every time is, I don't know. That's why I'm saying, I mean,
sounds good.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, that's why I brought her to Whaley very specifically. So you can look her up. She's a professor. She's done this research on quantum biology. It's very good research, Professor Brigitte Whaley. And then if you look at Google's recent quantum computer, it's like 72 qubit processor, D-Wave, what they're doing, and you just kind of compare, let's just compare and contrast the corporate model of the quantum world versus what David Wilcock's trying to promote more than anything, I would say, is this DNA being a quantum computer that we're interacting with in our reality, and that we have more power to create it. And so
again, the whole new age woo-woo, blah, blah, blah.
It is a real paradigm.
The paradigm shift, and we're all going to ascend and everything.
He's going to be the quantum computer.
And it's
he's raw. He's everything.
But he's definitely not wrong. Like, Brigitte, see, you can say he's wrong, but Brigitte Whaley's legit. Like, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I can show particular things that I haven't worked.
I know that there's people out there that are doing legit actual research into this stuff, but they haven't actually proven that anything like that. Everything is quantum. Everything, when you break it down and stuff, is basically because it breaks down into that level and stuff like that. So obviously our DNA, which if you know the size of DNA, everything, it's just little atoms and stuff. It's all on that level and stuff. So obviously, it's programmable in some way and stuff like that. We have ways to change, but to change and to do the things that David Wilcock, I'm just waiting for him to do it. When's it going to happen? I want to see him do it. The dude talks so much stuff, but it never happens. He never does anything. He's made more predictions and more stuff, and then nothing ever comes true.
It kind of does. I mean, that's the thing. It comes true. It's just maybe not in the way that we are expecting it, or directly looking at it, or in a way that can validate your ego. You know, sometimes it's like you get the karma of stuff coming true, but it doesn't really validate what you wanted to be true. But it's close. I mean, everyone's trying to get kind of close to the same thing.
New Age people put the spin on it. Oh, it's because your ego didn't want to have it, and that's not your perspective, and everything like that. No, that's the way the reality of the things are. If it comes true, it's because the people who are actually working on it, who are actually researching these quantum things and stuff, come to the determination and find out, okay, the project that we were working on, the theory that we had, is actually true, and we can actually program our DNA, and here, this is how we do it. It's not because David Wilcock started up and got it in a dream from fucking Ra or some other fucking bullshit. It's because he read an article just like you did about that doctor and stuff, and he's like, I can use this. I can spin this into my fucking stupid shit. And 99% of people aren't going to go look up and find out who this person is and find out what this information is. It's not going to happen. That's the thing.
It's slightly different. Like, look, wait. You got to listen. Emery Smith. Okay, this guy was in the Air Force. He's a surgical technician, okay, and he has legit PRP devices, platelet-rich plasma. Okay, you're talking about the ability, and this is a real thing. Believe me, I've cited it extensively because it relates to family issues, where you're talking about CRISPR technology, different ways of editing gene sequencing, very specific.
They didn't invent it. This research has been going on long before. All they did was talk about it on YouTube. That's nothing. They didn't predict it. They're not. It's nothing. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. If Emery Smith fucking invented this stuff and came up with this stuff, where's his money?
David Wilcock talk about it.
Emery Smith has.
He would talk about it. Smith could actually help you. He's legit. Like,
help us what? Help you do what?
I mean, he's talking about setting up surgical hospitals, emergency situations, including in the Gulf War. So yeah,
Okay,
he could
so
drop
yeah, that he can do. But as far as him
and give you a blood transfusion to save your life.
Okay, but as far as okay, nobody's saying that Emery Smith didn't do that stuff and wasn't in the military. But Emery Smith wasn't on fucking Mars. Emery Smith wasn't in Antarctica fucking at pyramids looking at alien samples of tissue. It's not something that's happening. You just again.
I don't know about that. I have no clue. I've never seen an alien. I don't know.
Just because the Emery Smith talks about CRISPR, which people have been talking again about CRISPR and stuff for a while now, and just now more stuff is being uncovered and presented about it. He talks about it. That's not him doing it. Emery Smith is not involved with CRISPR at all. All he does is talk about this type of stuff. That's what my point is.
No, dude. That's the thing. Like, see, the criticism has gone a little bit too far. It's hard to tell good things from bad sometimes. I'm telling you, Emery Smith's legit. Like, he legitimately has a device that can do this. He can technically do it. Like, if you had to have shit happen to you, he could technically do it. He could go in the lab and work and do the task. Like David, he would just talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, Emery Smith. Okay,
Emery Smith has real technical expertise.
He might have real technical expertise,
That's
but
what we're
he's
looking
not
for in terms
involved
of
in the CRISPR project. He's not involved. He talks about things like that. That's all he does. He has a knowledge because he was in the medical field. So that's supposed to give him credit that he really autopsied aliens. That's what I'm saying. All you're doing is just cherry picking the fact that he was in the military and he does medical stuff. So that means everything that he says is real.
No, definitely not. But I mean, that's like he wouldn't have.
I can skateboard better than Tony Hawk.
That's an absurd standard to apply to anyone. You know, it's just not a sound argument. You have to take everyone with a grain of salt. So, but he at least can back up the fact that a lot of what he's talking about is legit. Maybe the alien part's not.
30% of it he can back up. Yes, he was in the military. Yes, he has some type of a medical background. No, he didn't go to Antarctica and do autopsies or slides on alien bodies. He didn't do a 20 and back program. He didn't invent all these technologies that he says he invented, and he just gave away the patterns and everything, and then, because I wanted to live out of my car and all this other stuff. So then it starts out with 30% truth. Yes, hi, my name is Emery Smith. Truth. I was in the military. Truth. I worked as a medical technician for the military. Truth. And then it goes with a whole bunch of other stuff that's not true. Hi, my name is Smoking. I'm on ParanormalHooD. I have a skateboard and I'm better than Tony Hawk. I've been to the moon. I met Michael Jackson while I was there. He's friends with Jiggy.
But see, so like sometimes there's a weird sentiment in the community. Like for instance, my wife partner is in a wheelchair, and we've gone to events before where you get the vibe from the New Agers that like there's no, like they can't even conceive of a world with like people with disabilities, you know, or problems.
Yeah.
It's kind of this weird thing, like, oh, everyone's just supposed to be perfect. Like that's almost where Jordan Sather's coming from. Like, why can't you just drink the bleach? What's wrong with you? Why are you sick? You know, just drink the bleach.
That's what I mean. It's the duality of everything and stuff. It's like, oh, you're not really this because you can just magically think that you're that and everything. These people would tell your wife, oh, you're not really sick. Just eat this way and drink some bleach and everything, and you can walk again, or whatever's her ailment may be. And that's the way that these people think, and they think that this is all real. And because quantum physics says this and that, and they're like, well, it's true now.
Yeah,
when it's not, and you know it's not because your wife, unfortunately, I'm saying, is still in the situation that she is. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate and stuff. And these people are out here and they're saying all this magical woo-woo stuff, and people are believing it, and they're paying money, and they're drinking bleach, and their assholes are falling out, or they're trying to walk when they can't walk, or whatever the heck their problems are. And that's the problem with all this stuff. That's what the problem is. And they're like, oh, it's real because this right here and this right here says it's real. And I'm telling you, and I have 190,000 followers, so why wouldn't you believe me? Try it out. Your wife may walk again. Did you see why that should not be questioned? Oh, but this guy here, he's got a military record and he's a medical guy, so maybe I should trust what he says. I should believe him.
Yeah, well, there's some stuff that is good research, and people are working on it. You know, thousands of people working
Stanford
on.
Freeman just passed away and stuff like that. And the other people that are actually out there and actually putting out actual factual information and actually have the credentials and actually went to school and actually did the things like Emery Smith. I got 3 PhDs and I'm an astronaut. Plus he was in the military. He's 30-something years old. Where did he find the time to do all that?
Online, University of Phoenix.
And that's where his story,
in terms of
how is that legitimate? How is his story legitimate? Okay, some of that's facts. His name is Emery Smith. He was in the military, and he's got a little bit of a medical background. He's not a NASA astronaut. He might have gone to space camp one time, but he's not a NASA astronaut. He doesn't have 3 PhDs at any verifiable...
You gotta have a hard time. Give Corey a hard time. Give David a hard time. Give Jordan a hard time. Don't give Emery a hard time, dude. That guy flew in jets. He's been in fighter jets. He's in the Air Force. Like
John Lear flew. John
Lear
flew a lot of jets.
So Hitler was in the military, so he's a good guy now.
Okay, and go up into high altitude.
John Wayne Gacy was in the military, so he's a good guy now.
Sorry. You think spaceships picked up Corey in his living room? Bullshit, right? But Emery legitimately can go into base and hop in an X-class.
Okay, he can do that, but he's not flying it. Okay, but again, you're missing the point here. You're missing the point. That's the truth of the story. Yes, Emery Smith can fly a plane, but Emery Smith is not flying a plane to Antarctica to some secret hidden Nazi bases and doing alien autopsies. That's where the story falls apart. Okay? Yes, he was in the military. Yes, he can fly planes. After that, his story is bullshit. Just because he did that doesn't mean his story is legitimate. Again, John Wayne Gacy was in the military. Hitler was a military man. Okay? That doesn't make these people good people and their story and their beliefs fucking real. Do you see what you're saying? Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
Just because Emery Smith flew a plane, I believe him.
Right? No, well, I'm just saying in terms of tone. So someone presents themselves as a media figure, presents themselves as a whistleblower. It's going to come out of the thing. But wait. Like Emery's talking about curing cancer, regenerative medicine, you know, positive things. You know, maybe people join.
He should just stick to that and stop talking about aliens and all this flying around in spaceships and all the stupid stuff that he talks about. That's what these people should stick to. There's nothing wrong with talking about curing cancer. Thousands of people do it. I know people all over the place that have cancer and that talk about curing cancer, that help to cure cancer. I grow weed and give it to cancer patients. A lot of people do that. A lot of people want to get rid of cancer. Cancer's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with getting rid of cancer. But when you start saying that, oh, I know all about this alien stuff and I can heal cancer, well, then fucking do it. Stop talking and do it then. Stop going to conferences. Sit there. Go and do it. Put your money, but shut up and do it. That's what I mean. He's all talk. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. If he had the cure for cancer, he would give it to everybody. If he had a cure that would help your wife to walk, or me to not be sick ever again, or Jiggy to not ever have any problems ever again, or whatever, then he would give it to people. If I had it, I would give it to people. I made myself better. I tell people how I did it. If it works for you, that's great. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I'm not promising it as a miracle cure. Like Corey, like Emery Smith does. He talks all this stuff, and then there's nothing. He doesn't do anything. He goes to more conferences. What is that? How is that helping people? He talks the talk. Let's see him actually help somebody. That's what and you're sitting here saying, oh, because he flew in the... Thank him for his service. That's great. But that doesn't mean that he did anything with aliens. He didn't see any alien spacecrafts or any of the other stuff. He has no proof of that. It's stories.
Yeah, my father went to Vietnam, was shot down in a helicopter, all kinds of stories he has. Nothing about aliens or alien autopsy. He was a medic in the military, everything. My father's got a Purple Heart, a couple of other fucking medals, so yeah, I guess. Hey, what do I know? Anything's possible. Last one smoked.
Last blunt smoke. I mean, I will wait and see if he's.
You still there with us?
Take care. I think with the dog or something. We'll wait for a second. I don't know. We'll give him a second here, folks, and see what's going on.
Sorry, I had
No, that's all right. Yeah, no, you're out there with
do
the
something.
family. I know we're out in the backyard. So, but we smoked the last blunt and stuff, and we thank you for calling in. And
thank you for sharing that stuff.
Thank you
I
for
really do
sharing it with
appreciate
us.
that.
There's no hard feelings against you. We're just trying to get you to see and understand what we're saying and what they're saying and how. You know. So, but we really do appreciate it. And we understand that you are kind of on the fence and stuff with this and stuff, but I'm sure with some more digging and watching us and the other people that you're watching, that's more the way you want to go. Okay, because we believe in a lot of this stuff too. We believe it's real. We just don't believe these people and the stuff that they say. We're looking for the real deal stuff, and it's not going to be sold to us in a conference, in a book, and in a mystery school. The truth isn't sold. The truth is told.
Yeah, we'll just sit back and keep
and
watching them fucking
the truth speaks for itself, because if these guys got the cure for cancer and they're gonna save the planet and everything, they should shut the fuck up and start doing
or
it.
Ascension or whatever else, just do it.
Just do it. Stop talking about it. Let's do it.
Yep.
No, I definitely agree. Like, I definitely agree. Like I literally do try to do it. That's what I do. That's what I work on. That's what I work on. I have a company that does technology.
See, that's good.
So,
like I said,
yeah,
I
do
know
that.
people that are sick and stuff too, but I'm not out there at conferences saying, well, I got alien technology and I can heal the world, but I'm talking to you people instead right now. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I'm talking to you people because there's a reason to talk about this stuff because there's controversy. And my whole point of the best thing I could say is there's a whole lot of stuff that has come from Corey, regardless of him as the source, that you could definitely say was intended to come out from the secret societies or whoever puppet masters behind the scenes. And David obviously information from the same cabal, alliance, whatever, insiders for a long time. So there's definitely stuff to read between the lines, even if you don't like the individual. There's some valid information there for sure. And yeah, if you're interested in space, like consider joining the Space Force, like Emery's talking about. Why not? Or do something else, or I don't know, read a book. Like CW says, read a spiritual text stuff.
We're reading constantly, like I said. This is the God of the knowledge.
I do Python machine learning for like DNA data sets. So you can take data sets from people and take their DNA profiles and run machine learning and predictive analysis to try to predict drug effects. So instead of doing a drug trial, you can use machine learning like AI. So this is artificial intelligence in a positive way.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Machine learning side effects of drugs. Chemistry. This is through IBS.
Keep doing what you're doing, and I wish the best of luck to you and your wife and your family and the dog there and everything. And we thank you for coming on and watching and everything, and
Maybe we'll see you at one of the conferences.
Just keep good.
Dude,
keep the open mind you have. You do have an open mind. You're questioning the things, and you realize, so that's good. So we definitely appreciate you coming on.
Because the internet's so cool. You can literally kids can watch rocket science videos for free because of the internet. My kids, I can sit down and watch stuff that when I was forced to be in public school and you're finished the work, you know what I'm saying, and you're just bored and what am I even doing here? Nowadays with the internet, you can literally take college level classes for 6-year-olds.
So there's amazing stuff going on. But
it's this is a huge cultural struggle, and that's what Ascension, I think David Wilcock's Mystery School, more than anything else, regardless of the ego, is that it boils down to the decisions we need to make as a society as we transition to this artificial intelligence, this greater internet networking capability, robotics, jobs changing, and right now we're just in a massive corporate consolidation spiral, a spiral to the top. It's kind of like a death spiral up. As more and more corporations get bigger, they consolidate by purchasing smaller companies, dominating market share. I mean, look at Amazon. Amazon owns Whole Foods. And look, you guys got to look this up. The Jedi contract that Amazon has. It's literally called the Jedi. It's for the Joint Enterprise Defense
I know about this stuff.
It's the Jedi. It's hilarious. So Jeff Bezos is like the Jedi who's gonna like wield the cloud computing to save our defense industry and stuff like that. And I mean, like, you know that like these young nerdy guys in the industry who can't talk about it publicly, like, you know, are making these acronyms. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. Anyways, yeah. Have a good night. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Appreciate you.
Yes, peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace.
So we finally found somebody who went to Ascension Mystery School. That's pretty cool though, because he has open mind. I guess whatever we take from stuff. I just don't buy it. A lot of the stuff sounds good, folks. But overall, when it comes to those guys, but they're doing the work for us. That was the point of tonight's show, the whole riff. They're doing the work for us. They keep calling each other out. And they're calling more and more people out. Now Jimmy Church is kind of vocal in the fight because he's getting called out. Jordan Sather's called out. Billy Casson's called out. David Wilcox has been called out. Corey Good's been called out. Jay Widener is being called out by us because apparently nobody really cares about that whole aspect of it. I guess people just glance over the racial aspect of it because, like he said, it's all about David and Corey. But it's not just about them. It's about all those people. It's got a lot to do with Gaia.
Jason Rice and made fucking UFOs out of fucking trash cans in 1960.
They still talk about Phil Schneider.
Fucking Phil Schneider and shit.
Philly.
All this bullshit.
They still talk
Eric
about
Von
Roswell.
Daniken's, because he fucking Stitchin', yeah, he's passed away, but Von Daniken's still alive and out there fucking at these things. All these people pushing all this bullshit. It's all coming out. It's all coming apart. They're all going to throw everybody under the fucking bus.
Yep. They're doing the work for us. So, the last blunt smoked. It's over. Spend some extra time with you. Come back next week. If you're new, subscribe. You never know when we might go live, but we're here every Thursday night. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, folks, for listening. I really do appreciate him sharing that stuff. I know some of it's hard to listen to, but that's what he's supposed to do. That's why he actually spends his money. So at least he feels like see. That's what I'm saying. When this is important, that the people are suckers and all this type of stuff. I don't think that young man right there is a sucker. I think that he spends his money how he feels like he should, and he listens to these folks, but he at least isn't 100% all in. So hey, see, that's what I'm saying. They're not all suckers. Some folks want to hear what these people have to say, and then he has some discernment skills, but he's still working on it too. He's still young, so he'll learn. But that's it. It's over. Peace and love.
8
blunts. 8.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah, you know where to find us. Follow us everywhere on social media.
We'll pop on this weekend. Maybe
Say
not.
hi.
Make sure
You never
the
know.
notifications on. Go share this video with everybody. Breaking information on Ascension Mystery School. Share that stuff with everybody. That's the most important thing. You can give it a thumbs up too, but share it with everybody. Please, please.
Yeah, because I think we might be the first people on the other side who have actually had someone who went to Ascension Mystery School actually to speak about it. Yeah.
Talking about the Ascension Mystery School, and he didn't sound 100% happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I feel bad. He didn't get his money back.
He said 5 hours of David Wilcox talking about his ego.
Listen, guys, it's all about me. I'm Raw/Casey. I'm a time traveler. Stick with me. At some point before you guys, hopefully you guys die before me and I can keep milking money out of you guys. But you're going to learn nothing. But just keep following me because, well, I got veneers and Elizabeth is behind the camera, and she can kick my ass because she's an 18th degree black belt. So I don't want no problems. She's a real mastermind. Help me.
No, she ain't, because she just joined the party, dude.
Hey, you never know.
She just joined the party, dude. She just came along. She's there for the ride. She's like, fuck, I got a new buddy. Somebody gonna buy me all the shit I want, do what I want. Woohoo! Baby, I need some new stuff. Fuck, what can we do? Oh, Pete Peterson. Pete Peterson. There we go. We could, yeah. Oh, poor Pete needs help, everybody.
Help Pete. Help me.
I need some more new stuff. Ascension Mystery School. That's it, everybody. Thank you.
Tooth, as CW calls him. Thoth.
Forbidden Nonsense,
Thank you for watching.
Anunnaki Shitstery,
Pleasure.
Khan, Pendium of the Emerald Tablets, David Shilcock, Jordana,